30 Danny Collins. 16 Kate Cross. 24 Tara Norris. 18 Mahika Gove. And 4 Olivia Bell. As I say, I always just find that's the quick way. One person reads it and then... and the 12th fielder, if they need them, will be Daisy Mullin, who's 50. Yeah, don't worry about that. I think it's it's given up.
It's just because it's the big
Thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. The branding.
No, it's just because it's so big.
Yeah. Can if you want. It's. And the other thing I should have asked him is how quick he wants me to stop talking at halfway, but as in, is he going to play VTs at halfway? Does he want me to shut up quick or not? It's not a big one, but I'll just wind it up quick. I think's the answer, isn't it? I won't bother with the cards today. Right, so we just need to be ready for when the players come in. Very welcome to Blackpool Cricket Club, the Thunder versus Southeast Stars. You had to take it for this afternoon. The ground looking absolutely pitch. We've got banked seating around the boundaries. Volunteers doing plenty on the side. Right-hand side news from the toss is that the Thunder have elected to bat. Southeast Stars calling wrong.
Room.
How's that? How's that? Oh.
How's that?
How's that?
comes into the side. Tash Farrant, Paige Schofield, Phoebe Franklin, Chloe Hill, Kaylia Moore, Alexa Stonehouse, those three all changes, Claudie Cooper and Danny Gregory. So the Stars missing out on Sophia Dunkley, Alice Capsey, Kira Chatley, Freya Davis, and they are also missing Alice Davidson-Richards. So, Paige, what do you make of that team news? Because certainly for the Stars, there's a lot of changes there.
There is indeed, yeah. Obviously, Thunder have had the addition of Kate Cross and Emma Lamb, who they probably would have thought wouldn't have been able to kind of be a part of today's game. So they're strengthened by kind of England quality, whereas the South East Stars have kind of lost kind of some of theirs. So it's very interesting coming into today.
Real chance for Thunder here today, isn't there? Because the table will bring it up in just a moment for you, but very, very tight indeed. The Vipers unable to win yesterday, so that makes things very interesting, because if Thunder can get a good win here, they can go past the Vipers.
Yeah, well, obviously Thunder currently sit fourth. Obviously they've got 9 points from their games, but both teams have got 2 wins and 3 losses, so this could be a huge game for both of these teams in terms of where they sit in the table at the end of the day. Yeah,
it certainly is. I mean, Stars would need to win and win well and improve their run rate considerably to go past the Vipers today, but they would put themselves in contention for the last 2 games, as you were saying there, Paige. But Thunder, with that bonus point that they've already picked up, have a real chance of getting that win today. If they can make it a 5-point-1, if they can make the margin of victory big, of actually going past the Vipers and into the 3rd place, which would qualify them for finals day, which is taking place at Worcester next Saturday. But it's Blackpool Cricket Club where we bring you the entertainment from today. The players are out in the middle. Liberty Heap and Emma Lamb will be opening the batting. I'm sure you've already seen that we're out in the sunshine ourselves and got plenty of hats on to make sure that we're as shielded as we can be for this one. But the bowling is going to be opened here from Stonehouse, who will be bowling from the north end of Blackpool Cricket Club, where we are situated for this game. And she has ball in hand in that yellow South East Stars strip with the lines in dark blue across the front, and the dark blue trousers, of course, bowling to the all-red Emma Lamb. It's left arm over the wicket, and Lamb is playing through the offside, and she may well pick up 4. It's a long boundary away in the offside here, but it's going to roll all the way for 4 runs. Perfect start for the Thunder, 4 without loss, Paige Corns.
Yeah, a great start by the Thunder. Obviously, it's a very good wicket here. And also, with it being so warm today, and we've had great weather in Blackpool over the past kind of few weeks, so, the outfield is going to be, it's certainly not going to be slow by any means, but Thunder haven't played here for a long time. They haven't played here since the KSL days under Lancs Thunder, but Lancs have played here a few times, and it's been great games. Lots of runs.
Stonehouse again, bowling short of a length. Lamb tucking into the leg side, and she's off already, and adds Thunder's 5th run from only the 2nd ball. It brings Liberty Heap on to strike, and that is a very good start indeed for the Thunder. Liberty Heap made runs at every level of age group cricket for Lancashire, including a century when she was just 10, and she actually took Emma Lamb's record as the youngest ever centurion for Lancashire women by doing that. Well, she's batting alongside her today and faces her first ball. Has a big old swing at the first ball. Doesn't connect. 5 without loss it remains. The first dot of the innings. Plenty of encouragement from Bryony Smith there at slip. She's the captain of South East Stars, of course. And we are underway here in the sunshine underneath beautiful blue skies at Blackpool Cricket Club. Thunder versus South East Stars, and that one is driven down the onside of straight. The single is tight, but they make the single. It gets Heap off the mark. 6 without loss, the score here for the Thunder in their first over. And Paige Corns, what are you making of how the batters are settling in here in the early stages?
Well, obviously it's great to get off the mark, with a boundary, because that settles you for the entire over, so they're probably feeling quite good right now.
Lamb setting the tone for the innings and squeezes another single out into the leg side. 1 on offer. Smith, who's come up to mid-off actually now to have a word with a bowler, does the backing up on that occasion. 7 without loss, the score moves on to. Some busy work by Phoebe Franklin there, but she'll be a little annoyed that 2 singles have been taken to her so far. Quite interesting, Chloe Hill coming into the South East Stars team on loan from Vipers.
Yeah, that news came in this morning about the loan move, so obviously she's straight into the side.
Here's Stonehouse, back of a run, pacing in, heel to toe, delivers left arm over the wicket. It's full again, and Heap is really quite annoyed with herself that she didn't tuck in there and hit that one for runs. 8 without loss, the score remains here at Blackpool Cricket Club. We were very much within range of Libby Heap's batting practice earlier. We had only a sight screen in front of us for protection. She was hitting it quite well there, but yet to really connect with one here. But they could make this a double figures over, Thunder, from the first, and they'd be happy with that. It just cramps Heap for room, hits it down into the pitch and away into the offside to Schofield it goes, and the busy Stars players will make their way to their positions. So Liberty Heap as a player, I guess she's still young, Paige, but what do you make of her as an opening batter? As I say, she's got that brilliant junior record.
Yeah, and she's even made the way into the England under-19 setup. Obviously, she was in that World Cup squad that got to the final in South Africa earlier on in the year. And, you know, this is her first kind of full edition of the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Last year she made her debut in the Rachel Hale-Flint right at the end of the season, but it was a fantastic innings that she played in that game, and it really kind of set the tone for how we should kind of perceive what her kind of cricketing journey would kind of be like. You know, she came out and she batted brilliantly and almost kind of won Thunder the game in that instance.
It's going to be spin to start with from the far end. Looks like Claudie Cooper coming in to deliver this, who was listed as our wicketkeeper rather confusingly. I was confused by that because Chloe Hill's a wicketkeeper and seems to be the one with the gloves on. So I was particularly puzzled because I was pretty sure I'd seen Chloe Hill warming up with the gloves, and Claudie Cooper is indeed bowling her off spin from the south end of Blackpool Cricket Club. There's a diving attempt by Cranston, who's come into the side there, and she wasn't far away, but wasn't quite able to cling on there. There was a possibility of a single, and it was taken. 9 without loss. Lamb to the non-striker's end, but her cut perhaps not going. Of course, these club pitches will be getting very dry at this time of year with all the sunshine we had. I mean, having had the wettest April imaginable, we've barely seen a drop of rain in May so far, which is good as Cooper comes in to deliver a off spin, and this one's hit through a gap. Extra cover is the route taken to the boundary for 4. It brings applause from the decking away to our right-hand side, and it takes Thunder into double figures, on to 13 without loss. This is all looking very good from a Thunder perspective, Paige Corns. Yeah,
obviously a great start, you know, 13 from the first couple, you know, and it's really, obviously the batters are getting in, because obviously they won't be experienced here.
Yep, it's a new ground for Thunder to get used to as this one is flicked into the leg side. No run on offer. Of course, you remember well the KSL days here. That was sort of, this is your club, we should point out as well, Paige Corns. So we're sort of doubly lucky to have you really from the Her Game 2 perspective, but also from that perspective. Wow, that's a big shot from Heap, who's not messing around. Will it bounce once before the boundary? We'll wait for the umpire's signal, which we get now. It did just bounce inside the rope, but only one bounce. 17 without loss, 4 more to the total. Liberty Heap going big and over the top.
Absolutely, yeah. She's really shown some intent here early on, and you know, you might as well take those opportunities when they come.
Cooper again to bowl to Heap, who is defending into the offside. No run on offer on that occasion. But as we say, Paige, this is your cricket club. You must be very glad to have the Thunder here, because you had them in their Lancashire form in the KSL days, but it's good to have them back. Yeah, it's been obviously a fair few years since we've, you know, had them here. The last game they played was in 2019 when it was Lancashire Thunder versus Surrey Stars. So it's nice to finally see them back on what is my home turf. And you know, we've had a few of the Lancashire men kind of sides over here in the past few years, and the club's really worked hard on getting the pitch and, you know, the wicket in particular up to standard, and you know, we've seen that in the past few years. Stars mixing the bowling up. It's Franklin this time to deliver. Skipped up a little bit, but they sent Heap scampering back for a ground as well. 17 without loss. 9 from the first over, 8 from the second. So mixing up the bowling hasn't worked just yet, Paige Counts, but we will keep our eyes on this. You're also with myself, Mike Perkins, here at Blackpool Cricket Club. Thunder v South East Stars. Franklin to Lamb, who will get a slightly unorthodox 4. Probably not where she was first going with that shot, but down the ground, 4 runs. No matter, 21 without loss. Was looking to pull originally there, Lamb, but ended up going down the ground. And what are you making of this competition this year then? I mean, how, in your eyes, does it compare to the KSL whilst they retrieve this ball?
Obviously, it's vastly different. I think the KSL, there wasn't as much as many eyes on it and as much coverage. I think it's certainly improved, having this regional system in the streaming.
Here's Franklin bowling outside the off stump. You're watching, of course, on Lancs TV. And we are bringing you this game, which is currently 21 without loss. Thunder having chosen to bat here after South East Stars lost the toss. Here's Franklin again, just at the back of a run. On her way now, creeping into bowl to Lamb, who tucks it into the leg side. She thought there was one. Heap rather disagreed, and they go back to the respective ends with no addition to the total on that occasion. Yeah, I mean, as you say, it kind of almost seems as this competition has come in and replaced the KSL. A lot of people see it as being the 100, but actually in some ways we've got the 100 as an additional competition, and we've still kind of got this what's certainly this season been a very strong T20 competition. Cut away in the air, over the top. Now the chase is on round the boundary. I think it will be in vain. It is indeed, and there's 4 more to the total. 25 without loss, and Lammy didn't nail a cut in the last over. Certainly does nail it in this over, and is looking very good on 15.
Yeah, that just flew off the bat then, didn't it? And obviously the outfield just ran away. There was no chance for the fielder there, unfortunately.
There's a backward point, a sort of gully position, an extra cover and a mid-off on the offside in the ring, as well as a sweeper back on the leg. The ball gets clapped into the leg side, and again Lamb sends Heap scampering back to the non-striker's end. It's the end of the over, and the score is 25 without loss after the 3 overs we've had so far in this game. So is that your feeling that this is the competition that has replaced the KSL, because they were both T20 competitions and the 100 is additional now? Or is your feeling that it's the 100 that's replaced the KSL?
Personally, I think it's probably the Charlotte Edwards Cup that's kind of replaced the KSL, and it's just changed kind of branding really, and it is gone obviously regional. So I think that's their kind of the equivalents, with it being the exact same format, and obviously it's very easy to go between compare the two.
4th over of the Thunder innings. The bats come out the hand of Liberty Heap, who was trying to clap it away. Well, that was bizarre. Not often that happens. No run is the crucial detail.
The bat almost went for 6, let alone the ball.
It was Paige Schofield with the bowling. It was back of a length, and Heat was trying to baseball it away and lost her bat in the process. You see that in baseball sometimes, not often in cricket. Heat looking to try and work away. It's hit on the pad. There was a bit of interest from the Stars fielders, but even from our angle at fine leg, it looked as if that one was creeping down. Few taking their places in the plastic seats away to sort of what is cover for Liberty Heap here as she faces the bowling from the south end. And this one is played back respectfully to Schofield, and Thunder really have a chance to go here because they haven't lost any wickets so far, and they're up on the run rate as well.
Yeah, they could really kind of accelerate here. They've got a good platform, from the first few overs.
You can see the sun glinting on the back of Heap's bat. She'll pick up a single to long on here. They have left one back there, though, to stop it being any more than that. So that single added to the total, 26 without loss. As we say, very, very tight indeed in the Rachel Hayo-Flint, in the Charlotte Edwards Cup rather, the 2020 competition today. And Blaze are at the top, but it's all about third place at the moment, which these two sides will be looking to get, and that was very clever from Lamb, across her stumps and just delicately deflecting the ball past our commentary position. You may have even heard the clang on a little fan that's left outside the van that's housing the good people from Badger and Coombs, who are bringing you the pictures here today. 4 more to the total is the crucial detail. 30 without loss. We're in the 4th over of the game. Lovely bit of work by Emma Lamb, Paige Corns.
Yeah, it was, you know, lovely down leg side, so, you know, you'll take any boundaries you can get.
Certainly will. Made use of the fielder being up inside the circle. It's Kalia Moore who is there at the moment. This one's flicked airily and away, and this will go for 4 as well. Fast scoring here at Blackpool today. 34 without loss. Emma Lamb leading the charge. She's on to 23. Liberty Heap in double figures with 10 as well. And that is a very, very good start to this game from Thunder. They've chosen to bat first and they're making the most of it, Paige Corns.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise that they're scoring well in the first few overs at Blackpool. We've had, obviously it's not with the regional women's sides, but when Lancs men have played, it's very high scoring and very, you know, kind of quick pace games, so it's kind of unsurprising to see Thunder come here, and especially with these two opening bats. You know, these are not exactly the most defensive players that Thunder have in their squads, so it was kind of always going to be kind of tough for South East Stars to kind of hold these two down at the beginning, and clearly that hasn't, you know, their plans haven't worked.
No, they've mixed up the bowling and they're looking to do so again here with McDonald Gay coming into the attack, bowling short of a length, played to Phoebe Franklin, who is doing the duties at mid-wicket. It's a dot ball to start the over with, but neither Heap or Lamb have been in much of a mood for dot balls so far. And McDonald Gay again through to the wicket keeper and picks up another dot ball, so some successful bowling at the start of this over for the South East Stars, but it does already feel, and it's always dangerous to say this in the opening power play of the game, but it does feel as if it could be high scoring today. Here comes Rihanna McDonald-Gay to bowl, and this one's played away into the leg side. There's a fielder back, so there will only be 1 to the total. It's Cooper who does the work on that occasion, and 35 without loss the score. I presume that's your impression as well, Paige?
Well, yeah, obviously it's, you know, a gorgeous day here in Blackpool, so it's definitely one, you know, I don't blame Thunder for choosing to bat first and kind of building that kind of scoreboard pressure for the, you know, Stars when they're chasing.
In comes Rihanna McDonald-Gay again. Outside the off stump and through to the wicketkeeper. There is no run on offer. We should perhaps tell you as well that we've already had results in this competition today. Western Storm winning by 7 wickets against the Central Sparks. So Sparks, who won yesterday, may have been feeling they had the opportunity to threaten that 3rd spot. Haven't been able to do it. Thunder looking to do that today, and it's cut away behind square on the offside, and 4 more runs go on to the Thunder total and 4 more onto Emma Lamb's total, who's looking in fine touch. 39 without loss. Lamb has 27. You're watching Lancs TV with Mike Perkins and Paige Corns. The Blaze have also won today by 84 runs, a really crushing victory against the Sunrisers at Trent Bridge. That leaves the Blaze top of the table still. They've won 6 games from 6, and they've picked up another bonus point today as this one's hit away into the leg side. Now, will it be 4 runs? It will, because the fielder has overrun that and has been unable to stop it going for 4 runs. It was Claudie Cooper, just didn't quite judge the spin. 43 without loss. Lamb has 31 of them and is going along very nicely, Paige Corns. Just to remind people of that table, 6 wins from 6 for the Blaze. They have 28 points now with the bonus point they picked up there. Diamonds, who also play this afternoon, they have 17 points. Southern Vipers have 13. They lost yesterday to the Central Sparks, who themselves lost again and remain on 8 points further down the table. Western Storm have gone up to 12 points now in 4th position, dropping Thunder back to 5th on 9 points. South East Stars are on 8. But if Thunder can win today, and if they can win well and by a distance, then they will be able to go ahead of the Southern Vipers in 3rd. In comes Cooper, who wasn't able to field off that previous ball, and she's not been able to catch there, but it would have been a fantastic catch, and you can see that's really hurt. She's probably, having conceded 4 off the last ball, saved 4 there, because that was an excellent attempt to stop a fiercely hit shot from Liberty Heap. It seems to be a bowling hand as well here, Paige Corns, which is a real concern.
It is, because she's gone down kind of hard here. She's clearly in a lot of pain. They're just bringing some physio on now, kind of take a look, and kind of worrying signs for Stars fans and for all of us, really.
It's one of those, I mean, when you saw her actually get to it and you heard the sound, you wouldn't be surprised if something has broken, so that they need to check this out. It's a dot ball. It gives us more chance to chat here about Thunder's prospects in this competition, Paige Corns. What's your feeling? Because they brought in a lot of players over the off-season, but it seems in those 2 wins they've had in this competition, like there are signs it's gelling. Do you think that they can do it? They can sneak into that 3rd spot? Vipers obviously strong opposition.
Oh, definitely. But I think Vipers unusually have kind of lost a few games that we wouldn't have expected them to, so they've been kind of shock results kind of from a team that we know that is so dominant within not only just this competition but just with the regional structure as a whole. Obviously, as you mentioned, Thunder made a lot of changes in the off season. They brought in 3 new players from various regions. Obviously, Naomi Datani, we had Tara Norris, and we had Fee Morris come in. So that kind of added to some experience within the squad. And obviously, Lancashire is very fortunate that the county, along with Cumbria and Cheshire, have quite strong pathways. So we've been able to kind of, work with kind of those systems to then kind of recruit within the academy and then move up. So obviously, like Liberty Heap, for example, is one who's kind of come through that kind of system. Yeah.
Now, just to bring us back to the game for just a second, Claudie Cooper looks as if she's going to try and continue. She had the hand on the shoulder from Bryony Smith, so she's doing very well to stay on and try and complete this over here. It's the last of the power play. The first ball was a dot, and Heap is facing up again, looking to go down the track again, and Cooper has again probably stopped a ball that was destined for the boundary. Hasn't been able to hold on. She's got a smile on her face this time. I don't think that one hurt quite as much. It was the other hand, and sometimes when it's not your day, it's not your day.
No, she isn't having any luck, is she? But she's saving runs, which is probably what she's focusing on right now.
I think she's probably saved 8 and 2 balls there, but it won't be much consolation that Heap is still at the crease and working into the leg side. She's sort of looked to pick up 2, but won't do so. Good fielding from Kalia Moore, who's one of 5 changes for the South East Stars today. I suppose if you're the South East Stars, you know when you've got the likes of Dunkley Capsey, Alice Davidson-Richards, of course, Freya Davis, who are all in and around that England side, that there will be occasions where you do have to change your team quite drastically. Clapped into the leg side. 1 run taken by Lamb. 45 without loss. The score moves on to Heap back onto strike, who might feel a bit disgruntled that Claudie Cooper's managed to get her hands to 2 of those very fiercely hit straight ones.
I know she'd have had 2 more boundaries on her scorecard.
Here's Heap going high. Now this should be caught by Moore. It's in the air, it's down. It was one of those difficult spiralling ones off the top edge, but one of those ones that in a professional game, Paige Corns, you always expect to be taken. And the catch has gone down. How costly will that be? 12 to Heap's name. Here comes Cooper again. It's been a strange over for the Stars. Hit away into the offside. This will be frustrating for them because it's going to be 4 more, and it's greeted by applause from those on the sun-drenched decking there. It brings up the 50 for the Thunder. and it was a very, very nice shot indeed. Well, that was an eventful over. We saw Heap dropped on 12, Paige Corns, and then we saw Thunder bring up their 50.
Yeah, well, dropped twice on.
Well, yes, true.
In the over.
Well, 3 times really. Well, 2 from the bowler, of course, and then Kalia Moore really should have taken that one.
Yeah, you'd expect that to be taken at kind of this level. You know, you take much more difficult catches, you know, more often. You know, but it's just one of those. You know, Stars can't dwell on that too much. They just need to make sure that when the next chance comes, they take that, because these, you know, both of these opening bats, you know, they will make you kind of pay for your mistakes.
They certainly will. There was only 7 runs off the over, which, given the way the innings has been going, they might actually feel was an over almost in their favour there. But in terms of the dropped catches, unfortunately, they will be looking at it as a Thunder over, because they could have had at least 1 wicket, if not more. They're going to look for 2 here. It hasn't gone for 4, and there was a little bit of panic from Emma Lamb when she realised she thought she'd found the boundary. She hadn't, only picks up 2 for it, and she'd rather stopped and was walking to the far end and then had to get a little bit of a wiggle on to get there.
She's probably used to it just going to the boundary with the way she bats.
That is true, that is true. Heap on strike then has 15. It's short and through to the wicket-keeper, and that brings some encouragement from Tash Farrant in front of us here at Long Off. And we are out of the power play now, so fielders allowed outside that 25-yard circle, or more fielders, 2 more fielders, 4 in total, as that one goes through again into the wicket-keeper's gloves. No run on offer as a result. 52 without loss in the 7th over, being bowled by the Stars number 7, Paige Schofield. And Schofield once again coming in to bowl medium pace, but she likes to vary it up, and felt as if there was a few fingers on that ball trying to take a bit of pace off. 52 without loss. I guess from the Stars' perspective, they've just got to find a way here, Paige Corns, to halt this scoring.
Yeah, and kind of praying that these 2 make a mistake, because they're clearly in the mood today. Here
comes Schofield, shorter length, clapped away into the leg side. It will go to one of 3 fielders out on that leg side. Claudie Cooper returning the ball, so clearly her hand's feeling okay, because she's in a position where she could get quite a high and long catch out there at deep straight mid-wicket. We also have a, I would say, square leg fielder. The angle's slightly deceptive from where we are on the boundary, and a long on the onside. The fielder on the 45 is up in the ring. There's going to be a single here into that vacant leg side. Lamb able to get through and take her total to 37. 54 without loss. The total moves on to for Thunder. This is a very, very good start indeed from the Thunder perspective, Paige Corns, and as I say, so much riding on this game.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, these Heap and Lamb have been running really well together. They've been taking singles whenever they can, you know, which is helping with that. And then obviously, you know, this wicket's so fast that they've been able to just kind of take boundaries, so they're not under any pressure here, unlike South East Stars, who are under quite a lot of pressure to make a breakthrough.
And they certainly have been. Now, I'm going to get obviously it's a spinner, so we'll have to be quick, but I'm going to have to get some thoughts on Blackpool Cricket Club, get you to tell us a little bit about the place we find ourselves today, hosting Thunder versus the South East Stars. As Danny Gregory's into the attack, she's been paddled round the corner. No run on offer from Liberty Heap. 54 without loss it remains. Sorry, from Emma Lamb. 54 without loss it remains. So tell me after this ball, I mean, what sort of a club is it? It's obviously looking fantastic in the sunshine as Gregory bowls again, and this one's played away into the leg side. There will be 1 on offer. They think about coming back for a second, but Heap is told to stay and wait for 1, and it's returned to Kelly. 56 without loss.
I think we were very kind of lucky here. I mean, I've been very fortunate that I've properly grown up at this club. I used to come down and watch my dad play, and so there are a lot of people that in here at the club that are, you know, quite like me, and there's a community here.
We'll let Paige Corns continue in a moment as Gregory is played into the leg side by Heap, who's going to come back for 2. She was always going to get 2 there. You mentioned the running, and it was in evidence again, 58 without loss.
Yeah, and you know, over the past kind of few years, you know, the club have worked on, certainly from the cricket side, the pitch. You know, a lot of money, and that has kind of mainly come from Lancashire, as this is one of their main outgrounds.
Because that must be a big condition of coming and playing games like this one today, is having the pitch that brings the best out of these players, and it's bringing the best out of Heap and Lamb, who comes to the striker's end with that single that was played away through the offside up to long off 59 without loss.
Definitely, and last year we had quite a few of the Lancs men's games, so across the Vitality Blast and One Day Cup.
Here comes Gregory again to bowl to Lamb. Just pushed down the onside of straight, no run.
And the players actually came back to the club and said that they loved the wicket and that it was just kind of brilliant to play on. And even some of the members here who have been kind of lifelong members were watching the game and, you know, kind of seeing this pace and bounce that the wicket's never had before.
Here's, and well, we saw a bit of bounce there from Danny Gregory, who really got a leg spinner to rip past the outside edge of Lamb. It brings the over to an end, 58 without loss, and Lamb had been forward in orderly fashion off the previous ball, was forced back by the spin of that delivery. And I guess that's something you're seeing quite a lot of Blackpool then with this investment in the pitch, is the fact there's something in it for everyone, be it the leg spinner, be it the quick bowler, be it the batters.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, it's probably one of the reasons why we've got 2 Thunder games as well as the Lancs men's games here this year, that, you know, with the wicket being so good and kind of everyone loving it, that it's been fantastic that we've seen it now expand to cover the women's.
Brilliant to have more than 1,000 of you watching on Lancs TV and seeing the first wicket of the Thunder innings. It was a big swipe, and the wicket has fallen to Phoebe Franklin. Bowled 58 for 1, the score moves on to. It was a very positive opening partnership indeed, but it comes to an end, and it comes to an end with Heap walking from the pitch, bowled by Phoebe Franklin, 58 for 1 at the start of the 9th over. Paige Corns, what did you make of that dismissal?
Well, it was kind of easy as you like for the Stars, you know, just clean bowled, and they'll definitely take that now, because now they've made that breakthrough. It's kind of opened up something for them here, and as they say, 1 brings 2. That's what they'll be hoping for.
It's very much the motto, isn't it? And it's Heap who's gone bowled there for 19. We'll get you the details of that innings in full in just a moment, but Heap makes her way up the steps. Warmly applauded though as she walked from the pitch, because she's done a good job for her team there. And we have Fee Morris walking out to the middle. As I say, it was brilliant to have more than 1,000 of you watching that first breakthrough for South East Stars. But now it'll be about, can Lamb go on and can Morris join her? An acquisition from Western Storm, one of those players that Paige Corns was mentioning earlier, had come in and sort of had to gel with the existing players at Thunder and the good players from the youth setup, the likes of Lamb and Heap, as Morris looked in fine touch there as she played that into the offside, but perhaps didn't get the power she was hoping for, and the fielding is easily done. Dot ball to start with for Morris.
Yeah, Fee Morris has come in and seemed like a really good addition to the squad, and seems that she's really blended in with the existing squad here.
Has experienced as Morris, and clipping into the leg side of the front foot on this occasion. It goes out to deep mid wicket, where Claudie Cooper is there to return the ball. 59 for 1. Plenty of encouragement from the Stars players as Franklin back of the run in the beautiful sunshine here at Blackpool. The white banked wooden seats, and this one is clapped away into the leg side. There will be 2 on offer, because the ball couldn't be gathered cleanly by Stonehouse, I think it was, out there, and 2 were taken. 63 for 1.
I don't think many Thunder fans would have known too much about Fee Morris coming, but she's, this season she's been probably doing better with the ball. That's where we've really noticed her.
In at number 3 today for Thunder, and working into the leg side is Lamb, looking to just add a single to the total out towards, well, just in front of square on the leg side. 62 for 1 the total moves on to. It brings Morris back to strike, the number 3 for Thunder.
And she's been striking over 100 so far this competition, so she'll be definitely wanting to kind of build on that here when you've got kind of the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, can she do it for a length of time for Thunder here? Well, that's in the air. There's 2 fielders out on the leg side. It bounces once and the single is taken. So 63 for 1. Just shoveling in front of square there was Morris off the back foot. I think sort of almost realised in the nick of time that she wasn't going to clear the ropes and there were fielders there, and just managed to take enough off it in the end, and therefore is still at the crease in deep conversation with Emma Lamb. 63 for 1 off 9 overs then, approaching the halfway mark. Page, after that excellent power play, have Thunder got to where they need to be?
I don't think they'll be unhappy with, you know, where they are, to have only lost 1, you know, kind of by the halfway mark. You know, that's something that they would be kind of looking for, and it gives them a kind of a big platform to then kind of push on in the kind of middle to last overs.
It certainly does. Can they exploit it? Can they get a few more before that halfway mark? Gregory bowling, clipped into the leg side by Morris. There are 2 fielders back on the mid-wicket boundary. They converge, one from long on, one from straight mid-wicket. More applause from those over in the pavilion, enjoying what they're seeing. 65 for 1 as the batters scamper through for another couple. Here's Morris again, down the track, just gets something on it, which I think saved her from a stumping from Chloe Hill, who's come in on loan for the Stars today, wearing a numberless shirt, so it's clearly maybe a little bit last minute.
Well, it was only said during the kind of 13 squad announcement that came in, I think, just before 9 this morning, so kind of a very last minute call.
Here's Morris, over the top, down the ground. Long on comes round, it's quite a wide long on, and it's not a long on in the form of Paige Schofield that's able to stop the ball going for 4. Morris adding a boundary, and it was just starting to get to that point where that was needed. 69 for 1. It'd been a little while since we'd seen the ball cross the rope.
Obviously this pair are kind of picking up where Lamb and Heat left off in terms of the running. They've been, you know, running their singles and that well, but just getting that boundary just helps ease the pressure.
Certainly does. It's good to see it's the new batter as well. Now there's an appeal for LBW. My feeling was that had pitched outside leg, and Morris will be able to remain at the crease for the remaining 2 balls, having negotiated that particular dot. We're in the 10th over of the game, and Gregory is bowling again in the sunshine at Blackpool Cricket Club, and Hill can't cling on. She went on loan to Vipers last year and was brought into their setup on a permanent basis, having been with Sparks before, but she'll be disappointed to have missed that, although that's perhaps an indication of a lack of cricket.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously you need to play to kind of get yourself in.
To get that sharpness, but with those gloves, as that one is played off the back foot down the offside of straight for no run, and Gregory will take her cap, but again a little infuriated not to take the chance. And with that 6th over, of course, that was very eventful, bringing up the Thunder 50, but also seeing Liberty Heat dropped on 3 occasions, 2 that would have been virtually impossible for Claudie Cooper, but 1 that should have been taken. Stars will be ruining these missed chances now, and you feel it's bound to have an effect on where we end up here in this game if they keep missing chances like this.
Well, Thunder will have a more positive mindset because they know that they're a bit more free because they've got wickets to play with here, you know, so they have that licence to kind of be aggressive, whereas the Stars are in the opposite kind of position. They need to kind of, you know, they need to take wickets now.
Here's Rihanna McDonald-Gay back into the attack and being hit through the offside out towards the cover boundary. Gets about 3/4 of the way before the fielding is done. 74-1 the score moves on to. On a sunny afternoon here at Blackpool Cricket Club, the batter out is Liberty Heat, bowled for 19 by Phoebe Franklin. Of 27 balls in 29 minutes, she hit 2 fours in that time. McDonald Gay comes in and bowls. It's through outside the off stump, and there is no opportunity there for scoring from Fee Morris. Back onto strike. Saw Bryony Smith getting loose there. Of course, she can be a useful operator. Has international experience with England as well. It's captaining the South East Stars here. McDonald Gay bowls. Hit nicely down the ground. There's no stopping that one. 4 runs. The applause starting even before the ball had got to the boundary there. An indication of a really good straight down drive. Slightly offside, if anything, but away for 4 runs. 74 for 1. That's probably shot of the day, Paige Corns.
Yeah, it was a glorious shot, and it just, you know, raced away, as you say, to the boundary, and that'll make them feel a bit better about kind of the next few balls of this over.
Sound of one of those sounds of summers, the sound of spikes on tarmac. I was told that the other day when we were at Grace Road, bringing you a game with the Blaze versus the Sparks, and we heard it again there as Bryony Smith came back with ball in hand to give it to her bowler, Rhiannon McDonald Gay. Oh, a reverse scoop attempt by Fee Morris. She has got those in her locker. She used them very effectively, I remember, in a rain-affected game that she helped win against Thunder, and was attempting one there, but didn't quite get hold of it. 75 for 1. They get a single there.
Well, at least they're still kind of picking up those singles, and as you say, you know, and just kind of adding, you know, to that total. They're not, you know, just sitting kind of still.
Just a few fluffy white clouds above on an excellent blue sky as that one's clipped into the leg side, away out towards mid-wicket, and returned skillfully by Paige Schofield, who has 6 wickets herself so far in this competition. Charlotte Edwards Cup, the T20 version for women's regional cricket, as Rhiannon McDonald Gay is clipped out to backward square leg on this occasion. It's not fielded cleanly, but it doesn't allow the opportunity of a second. Score on to 77 for 1 then. We've had 11 overs so far, and you mentioned those wickets in hand. I guess the task now for Thunder is to use those Paige Corns.
There's too many pages in this
game. There are a lot of pages.
Yeah, well, obviously Stars will be wanting to kind of start working through and getting into that middle and lower order for Thunder, but it's not looking good when you know that you've got the likes of Deandra Dottin coming in, and you know that's kind of a scary proposition, because if she fires on a good track, then they could be in for chasing a rather large total here.
Yes, Dottin looking rather ominous as next in on the scorecard, as this one is bowled and clipped away. It's Smith who's brought herself into the attack. Goes wide of long on. Wide of a wide long on. Quite wide pitch actually here at Blackpool. 1 to the total for Fee Morris. Just playing that on one leg to just emphasise the fact her weight was right forward and over the ball there. As the sun disappears behind a cloud for just a moment, it won't be there for long as this one is clipped away by Emma Lamb. Single taken. 79 for 1. As Bryony Smith bowls, reverse paddle, this time executed a bit better by Fee Morris, and as soon as it's beaten Gregory on the edge of the ring, it always looked as if it'd have a chance of going for 4. So Gregory has done well to pull it in for the cost of only 2 more runs to the total. 81 for 1 as a flash goes off in the distance. Perhaps somebody getting a souvenir snap there, Paige.
Well, it is a kind of picture perfect day here.
It is.
You know, you got the sunshine, you got a few people in, and a bit of cricket. What more could you ask for? Just
the lightest of breezes ruffling the trees. It's hit out to the leg side where the fielder had come in actually about 3/4 of the way, but still bounced in front of McDonald Gay there, and only 1 to the total. 82 for 1. It's slightly better when that sun just creeps behind the cloud, and we still have the warmth of it, but perhaps not the searing heat. Lamb's gone big and in the air, and McDonald Gay has not been able to hold on. She'd come in from the boundary, and it had looked like a skillful manoeuvre because it had brought her into a catching position there, but she couldn't hold on. 84 for 1. It's a very long boundary on that leg side, and another drop chance for Stars.
Yeah, and Emma Lamb will want to kind of capitalise on this now.
Smith bringing herself into the attack and nearly having the deciding effect. Concedes another single, 85 for 1. So the overpasses without a boundary, if I recall correctly, but plenty of scoring shots in it. So bring us up to date on the work of her game 2 and how it's going particularly in this area.
Yeah, so obviously we're kind of continuing the campaign. We're just over a year old now, and we're continuing to work with clubs kind of across the country at grassroots and county level. Currently today we've actually had her game 2 dedicated double fixture at Bristol between Western Storm and Central Sparks, and then followed by Gloucestershire versus Middlesex. And so that's really kind of highlighting what the campaign's doing kind of down there, because Gloucestershire have been doing some fantastic work in that part of the country in terms of women's cricket.
Here is Schofield, a ramp shot, and it will just evade the diving fielder in the distance there, and the chase is now onto the boundary because that goes away for 4 runs. Hands to the face of Schofield. That one wasn't really a chance, it was more a case of trying to cut that ball off, even though it was heading down to the ground. And that is 50 for Emma Lamb, and the photographers get their snaps, the fans get their chance to applaud, and it's a reasonably decent crowd in here today at Blackpool to see that 50 from Emma Lamb.
Yeah, and a lot of members have kind of come down as well, so giving them the Blackpool welcome.
She goes big, Lamb, into the leg side. It's the shorter side of the ground. It's 6 runs.
It's caught in the crowd as well.
95 for 1 the score moves on to, and well done to that spectator.
Well, now that she's reached 50, Emma Lamb wanting to go big. She does have 100 in this competition, before, so she might want to do that again today.
Schofield again into the leg side again. There are 3 back. This one goes to mid-wicket on the boundary. Farron returning low and hard, but without being able to affect a run out. Just a single to the total though is the damage. 96 for 1. We'll bring you the full details of the Emma Lamb 50 in just a moment. Here comes Schofield. Now this has gone high, down the ground, and that'll be 6 runs. Take cover. The sight screen doing a helping hand for one of our colleagues from Bradford and Coombs. What a way to bring up the Thunder 100. 102 for 1 in the 13th over. And these 2 batters really looking to go now. Morris getting in on the act after Emma Lamb goes to her 50. Paige Corns, this is looking like it could be a big total here if Thunder can keep going.
Yeah, well, Emma Lamb's been striking at over 130 in this year's competition, and Fee Morris has been going at over 107, so these aren't batters that, are going to kind of keep quiet.
And Lamb certainly hasn't been quiet today, as this ball to Morris is not fielded well by Chloe Hill, who's come into this Stars lineup at the last minute, and a bye will be conceded. There was a thought that perhaps there might be 2 there, but just the 1 to the total. 103 for 1. Lamb's 50 coming up from 31 balls in 42 minutes, and it featured 9 fours. So very good striking from Emma Lamb there. And as you say, well above 100 in terms of the strike rate. Is she somebody that you see could be able to be an all-format player for England? We've got the Test match coming up next week, as Lamb doesn't score off this latest delivery, her drive rather getting stuck in the pitch as she came forward. Is she a player you think, because they haven't seemed to fancy her too much in the short form, and that's partly I think because there's such a requirement with the way the Aussies are playing the game that you have to be able to keep that strike rate up, but 130 in this competition, and the fact she can go past 50 as she has today might start catching the eye?
Yeah, I'm a huge Emma Lamb fan, so so I definitely think that given the opportunity, she could be someone who plays across formats. Obviously, unfortunately, we don't see a lot of red ball cricket within the women's side, but I definitely think that she could excel there given the chance. Smith
to continue from the south end. This one's driven into the offside and it's misfielded, and we have to be honest, South East Stars have not been good in the field today. It's Cooper who had 2 rasping drives hit back at her where she did probably save 4s but wasn't able to cling on for the catch, and but something like that is inexcusable. Just really should have stopped the ball and not let it through. 107 for 1 the score moves on to from the first ball at the 14th over. It's around about 17 minutes past 3 as Morris spins the bat in hand. Smith has sent long off back and brought cover into the 25-yard fielding circle. Through to the gloves of Hill. No run there. Just spun underneath a cut shot from Fee Morris, who bowls. Reverse sweep high over the infield, which is up on the offside, and that one's going to roll away down to third. 4 runs. Just beats the dive. 112 for 1. Fee Morris very much getting in on the act. She's on 32, and you've almost, bar the sixes and the reverses, barely noticed she's been there, but she's already accumulated 32.
I think it just shows how well it, how good it is to bat here today. She hasn't looked in any difficulty. When she's playing these shots, everything seems quite easy. And she's just milking what she can and hitting those boundaries. You're
watching Smith bowl to Morris on Lancs TV. This one into the leg side. There will be 1 run to Tash Farrant out on the boundary, coming from behind square to in front to do the fielding. And the total moves on to 113 for the loss of just 1 wicket. Power to add for Thunder. Settling is Lamb. On her way is Smith. Bowls to Lamb, sweeps hard out towards mid-wicket, but it'll be the fielder from backward square leg who gets there first, but only with a hand. So the fielder from mid-wicket was required in the end. It was McDonald Gay who returned it after Farrant couldn't pick up on the first occasion. 114 for 1. Still good spirits amongst the Stars players, but they must feel they could have kept more of a handle on this innings had they taken their chances. Lamb in the air. Will it be another chance to Farrant? No. Bounces once and then twice before reaching the fielder at backward square leg. Another one to the total, 116 for 1. That's what they've done well, Thunder, isn't it? That even when they haven't found the boundary, they've been scoring off more or less every ball here.
Exactly. They haven't let the bowlers settle at all and let them just target, one batter, in an over and build that kind of pressure. They've been able to just take the singles when they can, and they've all 3 batters so far have ran very well today, and that's just keeping the scoreboard ticking. And it is unsettling for the Stars bowlers because they're kind of not sure what to do next, because everything is just going kind of for runs. If it's not a boundary, it's a 1 or a 2.
In comes Franklin. Bowls high in the air. It's going to bounce in the ring, but all the fielders are back on the leg side, bar the one at 45, so it allowed 2 runs to be taken, and there was warm applause from the Blackpool crowd for that too. 117 for 1. They appreciate how hard these batters are working.
They are, and they're noticing that they're not just hitting boundaries and kind of sitting back. They are putting the hard yards in by running all of these 1s and 2s. Here
comes Franklin again, looking for the wicket that's much needed. Now they might get it here. It's gone high in the air, and it has been taken on this occasion. The ball just rolled away after it was taken. I will confirm the catcher shortly. I think it was Rihanna McDonald-Gay, and she will be quite relieved to have clung on to one, having missed one earlier in the day. 117 for 2. And it brings Dot into the wicket, so it may not be a welcome wicket in some ways for the South East Stars. Warm applause here for the departing batter, Emma Lamb, who batted absolutely superbly there, Paige Corns.
She did indeed, and it's not looking good for Stars when you finally get the wicket that you've been wanting, and then suddenly Deandra Dottin starts walking to the crease.
And she has licence to go here and licence to entertain. It may not happen, it doesn't always, but it happens more often than not when it comes to a certain Deandra Dottin.
Well, she does have 2 international T20 centuries to her name, so we know just what she can do.
Yep, she does, and she's retired from international cricket last summer. The Commonwealth Games with Barbados was her last work in that sense. Emma Lamb then making 63 before being caught by Rihanna McDonald-Gay off the bowling of Phoebe Franklin. And Franklin knows she has a task on her hands here. We've got long off, long on, deep mid-wicket and deep backward square leg as Franklin bowls, and Dottin goes into the offside and goes hard. The fielding will be done by Cooper, who's done well to get round to that one and will pick up a single. 118 rather for 2. Dottin off the mark with 1. A fluid drive already. Yeah,
she's clearly not here to, just play defensive and not 1s and 2s.
Almost always here to entertain is Dottin, as this one's played into the leg side. Up to long on it goes. Schofield there with the fielding. 1 bounce return, 1 to the total. 119 for 2. At this stage, Stars will be quite happy with singles, you would think.
Well, you'd think so, because, it means that they're at least restricting the run rate somehow.
Here's Dottin, tries to go big over the leg side. She's looking at where she wanted to hit it, but didn't connect. And it'll be a precious dot ball. Hill doing well to just keep her eyes on it behind the stumps as well. My apologies, it was more with the catch off the bowling of Franklin to dismiss Lamb for 63 from 38 balls in 52 minutes, hitting 9 fours as Dottin pushes into the offside from the drive. Single taken, 120 for 2. The score moves on to. Sedate so far from Dottin, but we already saw the big swing. There's one thing on her mind, and it's 6s, I think.
Yeah, she's clearly coming, with some intent. She probably hasn't had the kind of tournament that she probably would have wanted so far in terms of big kind of turnouts. But she's had kind of glimpses of the Deandra Dottin that we know and love, with striking at over 200 against Central Sparks, but there haven't been big innings, whereas she could really make enough, make a chance here of getting that big total.
Well,
as she marks her guard.
I think that might have been the reason for the push into the offside of the last ball. She's going to get another 6 to have a go at here. She faces the bowling from the south end of Blackpool Cricket Club, and we'll be looking to go big here off Gregory. There's an appeal for LBW and it's out. Gregory with the perfect way of stopping Dottin. LBW for just the 2 runs, and well, in some senses, Paige Corns, that's an anti-climax. Thunder 120 for 3 now, having seen both Dottin and Emma Lamb depart in successive overs.
Yeah, I think we bigged her up a bit too much there.
We always can.
She'll be probably gutted because, there was a real chance to get, some runs here. It's a brilliant wicket, and obviously Emma Lamb, Liberty Heap, and now Fee Morris has, shown that there are runs on offer.
It will have an effect on Thunder's total, you imagine, because there are a few players in the world who can hit the ball like Deandra Dottin, but it just didn't happen for her there. And good bowling from Gregory is the thing we have to focus on. She clearly managed to get that to pitch in line, get that to turn past the bat and hit the pads.
Oh yeah, and it will just kind of rejuvenate, that star squad you got, to get such a big name out. And that they're back in the dressing room, and that's one less person you have to worry about. They can just focus on now, just keep chipping away with these wickets.
Threlkeld, the captain, comes to the crease then. Dottin out and back in the pavilion. Threlkeld gets a very similar ball and was almost in as much trouble there, but survives. Dot ball goes into the book. Hypercourse tells us on Twitter as well that the 13th over of this game was the highest runs off an over in the Charlotte Edwards Cup for Thunder. They got 18 in that 13th over as there's an attempt of a sweep by Threlkeld, and that one's out. Another LBW, 2 LBWs in the over. This time it is Ellie Threlkeld who is out for naught. She will be annoyed at that. And 120 for 4 the score. There's just a danger here that Thunder are going to fail to capitalise on the good work they've put in.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a wobble here after such a fantastic start. You kind of really need to kind of almost settle down and kind of do the opposite of kind of what happened in the kind of previous overs, where it was South East Stars that were kind of under the pump. Now it's it's on Thunder to kind of just rebuild a little bit before pushing on in the final overs.
Drelkeld will be so disappointed there. She's very hard on herself. She always wants to make sure that she's contributing in every facet of the game, and unable to do so on that occasion. Out for Nor LBW, dotting earlier in the over, out for 2. This is some very, very good leg spin bowling from Danny Gregory. Datani comes to the crease, which kindly, as she skipped to the wicket, she managed to show the back of her shirt to us, which is always welcome from our perspective. Just outside the press marquee that's been erected to the left of the sight screens at the north end of the ground here at Blackpool Cricket Club. And this one's played through the offside, and this one's going to have a chance of running away, because as soon as it's out the ring, it's very, very tough to catch it. Bryony Smith has tried her best, but just past that white set of steps away at extra cover, she has to give up the chase as it pops over the rope for 4 more. 124 for 4. Datani starting well, and this is where Thunder's recruitment is really coming in, because it's just adding to the length of that batting lineup.
Yeah, obviously Datani moved to Thunder from Sunrisers for the start, kind of towards the end of last season it was announced, and in this edition of the Charlotte Edwards Cup,
here's Gregory with a right arm over the wicket leg spin. Doesn't produce a wicket or a run on that occasion.
She's kind of moved up and down the order depending on who's available, whether it's opening or coming in the middle order like she kind of is now. But certainly that 4 first ball will definitely kind of settle her down, and now it's just kind of focusing on rebuilding.
She's driven off both her first 2 deliveries. Will she go for that method again? No, it's shorter and she tries to cut, but it's into the gloves of Hill. No run. 124 for 4. We've had 16 overs of this innings. It's that sort of time where we start thinking about a good total. I guess they'll want to get the 150 first. Can they push on further than that?
I think they'll want to, and they'll see that as an absolute kind of minimum, especially with how well they started. Obviously they had that little wobble with losing a few very quick wickets, but hopefully if kind of taking an over or so, just to get Datani settled. And obviously Fee Morris has got her eye in now, so she needs to kind of take the responsibility to then push on.
So Smith bringing herself on at the north end now, as this one is bowled, fluidly driven into the offside. There'll be 1 on offer. Morris takes it gratefully. Was winding up for the big one there, but just couldn't quite connect with the off spin of Smith. She might be relieved maybe to be bowling at the left-hander here, because obviously it takes what would have been a short leg side out the equation slightly. Paige Schofield wanders by in front of us at long on. We also have a mid-wicket, a backward square leg, and a fielder back at cover. Everyone else up in the 25-yard ring, as there is a single taken. Stonehouse, who opened the bowling here, comes across and does the fielding. 1 more goes on to the score. Smith bowling to Morris, who's again twiddling on that front leg with a back leg raised as she twists it away into the leg side to backward square leg for 1. 127 for 4. A little bit of chatter still amongst the Stars players, trying to keep the spirits up. They know a win for them could be very crucial to prospects of qualifying. Everyone who was chasing that 3rd spot would have been pleased to see Vipers, who were in it, losing to Sparks yesterday. The sweep shot there produces another single, 128 for 4. We've also seen wins earlier today for the Blaze, who are clear at the top, and also for Western Storm, who are now up to 4th ahead of Thunder and Stars, as Smith bowls, hit down the ground. Stonehouse is there with the fielding, looks for the direct hit. There was some excitement, but I think Datani was quite comfortable of her ground. She certainly felt so anyway. 129 for 4.
The Blaze have been having a wonderful tournament, haven't they? Since that move, and kind of rebrand from Loughborough Lightning, moving to Trent Bridge and under the Blaze name, they've been excelling.
Bryony Smith bowls, backing away is Datani, cutting to extra cover in the ring, so she has to be quick with a single, but is, and adds it to the total, 130 for 4.
You know, and I think it's just kind of shown, you know, they're starting to kind of bear the fruits of that kind of move already, and is kind of exciting for kind of women's cricket in kind of in the East Midlands now.
What's been good about what they've done is, okay, they've had the likes of Siva Brunt and Tammy Beaumont who are always going to help, but actually the game where they didn't have them, they still put in a very, very strong performance indeed, and were able to win that game. So it shows that it isn't all about Nat Siva Brunt, who of course won the KSL that we were talking about earlier as a star, albeit a Surrey star rather than a Southeast star. Southeast Stars winning the inaugural edition of this competition.
Yeah, obviously it's, you know, it's nice to have your international stars in your lineup, but you know, it's about what happens when they go, because you know that's kind of where the bulk of your wickets and runs come from, is your other players.
In the sunglasses comes in Kaylia Moore, and that one's hit down the ground. That might go all the way. There is a fielder at long on who does the work in the end and keeps it to 2, and every time a ball like that, which is hit fiercely down the ground, he thinks going for 4, but then doesn't quite get there. Schofield with a fielding on that occasion. You just feel that could be crucial when we get to the end of this game. 132 for 7. Another fielder coming across to mid-off for Datani. It's Franklin who does. Now that one cleverly gets past the outside edge, I thought at first glance, but then the umpire sticks their arms out. 133 for 7, one more to the total with the wide.
Well, Kayla Moore hasn't bowled too much in this year's kind of competition, so she's probably still just getting her eye in.
Appeal for LBW. Will it be out? No movement from the umpire other than to stroll away to assess the run out and tap the leg for the leg by. 134 for 4, the total moves on to Morris back on Yeg. Kayla Moore is one of the players to come into the side today. One of 5 changes the Stars have made, including their wicket keeper Chloe Hill coming in for Kira Chatley. Another fielder going back on the leg side, so we have that field with the 45 and then 3 back towards the boundary. I won't say on the boundary, but towards it on the leg side. So instead, Fee Morris goes over the offside, up to long off. Beautiful cricket shot. 138 for 4. Just skipped down. As we say, she's sort of almost balancing on one leg when she's striking those balls because her full weight's going through the ball, and that one was over the top of mid-off for 4.
And this will be a higher score in this year's Charlotte Edwards Cup for Fee Morris.
Morris again working into the leg side. There will be another one on offer. Takes her to 38. There's Paige Corns quick with the numbers there, which is always good to see. And Fee Morris' highest score this season in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. But that's exactly what she's been brought here to do, isn't it, Paige?
Exactly, they needed that kind of experience, especially kind of in that sort of higher middle order, just to add that batting depth, and she's done what she's needed to today. Emma
Lamb with the top score so far. Great shot from Datani, down the ground, 4 runs. And you always felt the boundaries were just around the corner for the Thunder, and that's what's happening now. 143 for 1. They're nearing that 150 mark, and they're going to have time to spare to add to it as well. As good as the Morris shot was, Datani was like, I can do it left-handed.
Yeah, she's obviously kind of got comfortable now. She's faced a few balls, and then now she's able to kind of let loose a little bit. And
Thunder's number 6 is on 14. Hits into the leg side. Less powerfully this time with the drive. It kind of skewed off towards straight mid-wicket or wide long on, depending how you want to look at it. 2 more to the total. More applause, though, from the Blackpool fans. 145 for 4. They're really getting behind their team, these fans up on the decking over there.
Definitely, and I think it helps that, you know, Thunder this year have moved to the red, and we're very much a kind of Lancastrian club here. Obviously, we host both men's and now the women's, which is fantastic, and we always support the home team.
The red rose was very prominent on road signs and that kind of thing as I was driving here today up from Manchester, and yeah, I think Blackpool Cricket Club could well be somewhere the Thunder enjoy playing because they're going well here today.
Well, they have today, and I'm sure they'll be giving their feedback post-game about how they felt, and they've got another game here on Wednesday.
Rihanna McDonald-Gay comes on to bowl, hit down the ground. Cranston can't affect the field, sorry, Stonehouse rather, can't affect the fielding the way she would have hoped there. It wasn't clean pickup, but doesn't cost her an extra run. 145 for 4, 11 balls left of the innings. Does the 160 feel on for you? You'd imagine they're going to get the 150, no sorry, 146 for 4.
I feel like they should, you know, they should get to kind of 160. I think they, especially with how good things look, and they want that kind of pressure on the Stars going into the second innings, so that'll probably be their minimum now. So they'll want to tick off at 150 just to get that hurdle over with, but definitely looking to get as many as possible here.
So that'll be a chase of 8 as this one is baseballed down to long on. Schofield there with the fielding, returns well back towards the stumps. 147 for 4. 10 balls of the innings remaining. You're with Mike Perkins and Paige Caunce, the Her Game 2 ambassador for Lancashire and for, of course, this team here, the Thunder. In comes McDonald-Gay, right arm over the wicket, medium pace, and played into the leg side. 1 run taken. They're going to look to come back for 2. They probably could have got it if Datani kept going, but Morris perhaps less interested. 148 for 4, that 150 mark creeping closer. They want to do it this over, if not this ball. Here comes McDonald-Gay again. And it's hit down the ground by Datani. This is going to be a real chase for Schofield, who's round quickly, picks up and returns for the loss of just 2 runs, but the applause that begins to ripple around Blackpool will tell you 150 for 4 is the total. So the Thunder 150 coming up in the 19th over of the innings. They got the 50 in the 6th.
That'll help the Thunder batters out in the middle. Now they've seen that they've kind of ticked that over. Now it's just pushing on for the biggest total possible.
Hit by Datani hard towards the long boundary, but it'll separate the 2 fielders out there on the leg side. It bounces off the wooden banked seating and back into play for 4 more. 154 for 4. Thunder have real license to go here, Paige Caunce.
And I'm sure Naomi Datani's enjoying herself. She hasn't really had the chance to kind of have, you know, so much time kind of at the crease. She's finished 2 games not out this kind of this season so far. So now she has a chance to go big.
Good cameo of 22 so far. She adds to it with this shot. Pulled out towards mid-wicket, into the ground though, which took some of the venom out of it. And it brings Fee Morris. Well, Fee Morris will lose the strike as a result of that single. She's on 44, so we'll want to try and get past 50, you feel, in this final over. 155 for 4. Just 6 balls remaining. Of course, Fee Morris comes from the Western Storm, who was successful in those KSL days with 2 victories in that form of the competition.
Fee Morris will be approaching her highest T20 score, if I'm correct in saying. I think it's 47 not out, so if she can get past 50, she'll be very happy.
She certainly would. It's going to be Datani to face the first ball. It's going to be the captain, Bryony Smith, to bowl it. Spectators all around the ground in Blackpool. It's hit it out towards the plastic seating on the far side with a little white fence in front of it, and that's where the ball hits. 4 more to the total. 160 it moves on to, as that one is clapped away on the pull by Datani. 159, apologise, it goes on to. Smith bowls. Hit nicely up to long off by Datani on the front foot, and Morris will have 4 balls if she's to get her 6 runs for that half century, but Thunder already have that 160. The chase is already at 8.
They'll definitely be kind of happy about that, and you know, because you know the pressure is now on Stars to kind of get out of this over as best they can and chase as little as possible.
Here comes Bryony Smith. Reverse paddle in the air, and it'll be caught. Kalia Moore, a second catch behind square in this game. And sorry, it's Cranston on this occasion who takes the catch. It was a reverse paddle in the air by Fee Morris, and her innings comes to an end. 44, a highest score in the competition this season, as Paige Corns was telling you, but just short of that highest T20 score. But she had to go for it there and went for the reverse paddle, which had been effective earlier in the innings. 160 for 5.
Yeah, she'd pulled that shot off so well so many times already in this innings. She probably felt comfortable doing that, but unfortunately it didn't pay off for her that time, and she's lost a wicket. So she'll be obviously, you know, kind of gutted about that, but that, you know, her team is in a good position. 160's on the board. Hopefully we can get a few more in these last few balls and then go into the chase kind of confident, because their bowlers have at least something to kind of play with.
This is Danny Collins coming to the wicket. The applause as Morris walked off with 44 to a name before being caught by Cranston off the bowling of Bryony Smith was warm like the sunshine that Bryony Smith is bowling in now. It hits Collins on the pad as she came down the ground looking to clap that one over long on. Hits the pad instead. 161 for 5. As we say, Stars will be chasing in excess of 8 and over here. Can Datani push it up towards 8.5 and over? Looks for the sweep, doesn't get a lot of it, if anything at all. We'll wait for the signal here. There's going to be 2 taken as Gregory returns the ball. Byes signalled, so there was nothing on that one. 163 for 5. You're with Mike Perkins and Paige Corns on Lancs TV. Thunder versus South East Stars. Naomi Datani settling over her bat. She has 28, and she's going to add to that. Pulled away in front of square on the leg side. A good tumbling bit of fielding out there, though. Prevents more than 2 being added. And that will be the end of the Thunder innings then. 165 for 5 off the 20 overs, Paige Corns. They started hard in the power play, bringing up their 50 in that last over of it, and they've continued to go pretty hard for the full 20 overs there.
Yeah, I think until they kind of reached that kind of stage where they lost 3 quick wickets, but then when Datani came in with Fee Morris, they rebuilt. You know, they were a bit steady, and then once they kind of built that platform together, they were able to then push on, and is what has gotten Thunder to 165.
The Stars, of course, will be ruining the dropped catches there. Okay, nothing really that Cooper could have done about hers, but there were a few that were left out there, particularly Kalia Moore's, where you feel that, Brianna McDonough-Gay's, where you feel that they should have clung on to those chances.
You'll always be upset about the chances that you don't take, because obviously, you know, it kind of affects the latter parts of the game. They'd have wished they'd have taken those, but and kind of grouped after those. And I think unfortunately as well, the fielding wasn't as kind of strict as they probably would have liked. I think with everything being kind of so quick here and boundaries so easy to come by, you need to be fielding well, and a few fumbles or, you know, missed chances there cost them quite a few runs.
Well, Thunder looking for their 3rd win, as are South East Stars. The chase will be 166. Do make sure you rejoin. It's been brilliant to have more than 1,000 of you with us for the majority of that first innings. Emma Lamb top scoring with 63. Fee Morris also making 44. There were 2 wickets in and over for Danny Gregory as well. Do rejoin us for the chase. It will be 166 for the South East Stars to try and get here at Blackpool Cricket Club against the Thunder.
Yeah, it's really special. I've never had that as a player, never had our own changing room and my own locker, and walking in and seeing pictures of us on the walls and our values that we've come up together with as a team. in that change room is a great example of why we started playing cricket and all the pictures of us from when we were younger, and it makes us feel like we're more at home with that change room. Got "send it" written on the wall as you walk out to bat, so just a little reminder to kind of play without fear.
To have our own change room and our own home dressing team space is brilliant. It makes us feel like this is our home as well. We also have the men, so yeah, I think little touches really go a long way, and it really builds that togetherness with the team.
Cute guys. Oh, it's on the floor. Thunder. Big thunder. Nice redneck. The little girl who fell in love with the game and never looks back. Oh, that's cute. That is cute. Play for her. Oh, Liberty. Thanks, your mum, Red.
Obviously, I helped design it. Took a while. Quite stressful at times, but the fact it's done now, we've got our own space, we've got our faces in the change room. It's really exciting. We get to be there. It inspires us.
That's great, isn't it? Send it. Send it. Send it. There's more. Come on, let's get there. Look.
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
Oh, I just burped, sorry, don't you get that on there? Sorry, it's so bad that, isn't it? We warming up, I'm old. I just nearly fell over. Is there a little hill there? You are so silly. I'm so shy. Ragadoosh, baby. Time for a batting clinic now. Oh, I don't like that one. Might be a bit late, really, to reinvent my batting career. Really don't want it to move out, like really don't want it to move out.
But you're kicking her out.
But yeah, I'm kicking her out, yeah.
Shall I move in out?
No, thank you, Daisy. There are certain people in the world I could and couldn't live with. Pretty sure you're one of the couldn'ts. Got the Powerplay yips. Picked a lot of balls up from the back of the net today. God, I wish I was better. Oh, that was a good one. I'm ready. Are you ready? Oh, how have I got that there? That is unbelievable. God, sometimes I blow my own mind. What is that?
Oh,
No. What is? Oh, they're having sex. Oh no, it's not. It's dead. Is it dead? Oh, it's a wasp. It's massive. Oh, it's just a wasp.
You?
Gonna get her out, LBW. Over the wicket. Slide it on. There it is, that's the one, yes! That was right on cue though. Like we set it up.
and South East Stars, who lost the toss and Thunder chose to bat, will have to chase 166. Emma Lamb, the top scorer in the first innings of this game, and she made 63 runs from 38 balls. Fee Morris 44 from 31. So strong contributions with the bat from the Thunder. What can they produce with the ball? The first thing to do will be to get Bryony Smith out, I would imagine. She made 83, and against strong opposition in the Vipers, Paige Corns.
Yeah, she's been averaging over 30 so far in this year's competition, so she'll be their kind of target for these first few overs, and it'll be a relief if they can get her out early and slowly start working into that middle order.
She's chatting away, isn't she, to Dottin and Morris, who walked past. I'm sure they've all come across each other in one form or another plenty of times before. This is an interesting move because, as we say, Kate Cross is in the Thunder lineup, but she's going to stand at mid-on and give the ball to Mahika Gore to start the bowling from the north end of Blackpool Cricket Club.
Obviously, Mahika's a new kind of addition to the Thunder kind of squad kind of this year. For a lot of Thunder fans, they might not have seen her before, and then she's come in and you kind of can't keep your eyes off her. She's
no, well, that was very much the view, I think, at this camp in the United Arab Emirates, where they picked her up from. And Mahika Gore is going to come in from the north end of Blackpool Cricket Club and bowl right on the dot, first ball, and Smith actually backed away to try and give herself some room to force that back down the ground. Only found Tara Norris, who's at mid-off, Kate Cross at mid-on, so good seam options there for the Thunder. Another game underway as well, and one that these two sides will have a big eye on. Northern Diamonds versus Southern Vipers. Vipers currently in third as Gore bowls, and it's hit away for 4 runs by Bryony Smith. Well, what a shot that is. She gave herself room on the first delivery and didn't really find it. She gave herself room there and was able to baseball it to mid-wicket. Of course, only 2 fielders allowed outside the fielding circle. They're at backward square leg and at third. That one going well in front of square on the leg side and away for 4 runs. 4 without loss, the Stars from their second ball. Vipers currently 48 for 4 in the 8th over at Headingley, having lost to Sparks yesterday. They lose again today. One of these two sides could well, certainly Thunder could nick into that 3rd spot with a bonus point. I think Stars would do well to do that. They'd have to chase this in about 16 overs and with a good run rate. Well, they would have a good run rate if they did it in 16, I suppose, but it's going to be difficult. And a dot ball there into the onside. Gore with the ball at the back of a run, turning again. Will it be a dot or will it be a 4? That seems to have been the pattern so far. It's another dot, cramping Smith for room, who was looking to try and crate it to go in the leg side again. Couldn't do so. 4 without loss, Paige Corns. And you were saying this game is significant because these sides can keep pace with that 3rd place they'd need for finals day, but significant for another reason as well.
Yeah, so this is the first time that Thunder and South East Stars will have faced each other in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Obviously in the past they've had kind of group stages, so they haven't been in the same group to kind of play each other, but now in this year's edition this is the first time they'll have faced each other.
Paige Corns, her game 2 ambassador for Lancashire and Thunder, alongside myself, Mike Perkins, as this is hit into the leg side. And will that be 4 or 6? It's been stopped just and returned to the wicket-keeper Threlkeld. Well, I was wondering which sort of boundary it was going to be then. It drops inside and it's stopped as well by Danny Collins, I think it is, who's out there. And in a lot of ways, that's what she's in this team to do, to be a very good fielder. Keeps it to 2, 6 without loss.
Yeah, well, she hasn't had much chance with the bat kind of this year. This is now 4 not outs for in this year's competition.
Gore left arm over and it's hit high into the leg side again. This one's going to be 4. Bounces once into the Thunder players sat in front of the pavilion, and 10 without loss. And it's a good start for the South East Stars, and in fact it betters Thunder's start. They were 9 without loss after the first over. They made 50 off the opening power play of 6 overs, where only 2 fielders are allowed outside. And Mahika Gore will have learnt a lot in this competition, and I guess she will have learnt a lot again that over bowling at Bryony Smith.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bryony Smith's been striking at over 150 this year, so in this format. So she's definitely going to enjoy this wicket today. I'm sure she was eyeing it up when she was in the field today, and obviously started off very well with 10 from the first over.
Yeah, I think the way players do, she'd have walked out to the middle, had a look at it, and probably come off with a big smile on her face today, Bryony Smith. She's accompanied to Paige Schofield, who was very much watching from the non-strikers end in that first over, but will have to negotiate England and Lancashire's Kate Cross. Running into bowl here at Blackpool. It's down the leg side to start with, which won't please her. 11 without loss. Good to see a bowler who you hope is in contention for the various Ashes games coming up. You would imagine so. She's obviously been suffering with that parasite, which has been very debilitating, but it's good to see England saying, look, we're going to let Kate Cross go out and bowl some overs here.
Definitely, and obviously it's great for Thunder and great for the fans here that they get to see someone of such standard.
Bowls here, and the shutters of the photographers' cameras go there as well, as Cross will concede one and will be pretty unhappy to do so, because that was hit straight at mid-off. An apologetic hand goes up from Tara Norris in the distance there.
Yeah, so far this year she's taken 3 wickets in the Charlotte Edwards Cup just from 2 innings. Obviously she's been out, as you say, with that kind of parasite illness, and then various England camps, I imagine.
12 without losses. Cross bowls to Smith, played into the leg side. Datani's there with the fielding, who made a very useful contribution with the bat herself in the first innings of this game. 30 not out she finished off, and from just 18 balls as well, which was the big part of that Datani innings, hitting 4 fours. Cross turns in the distance as a couple of spectators walk past the white steps on the banking. This one goes up in the air. Is Dottin going to try and catch this? She is. She's done really well to get back that far. It looked well out of grasp when it first came off the leading edge. Just got fingertips to it, but couldn't cling on. More runs added to the total, and 13 without loss it goes to. Smith just picking up 1 there.
Yeah, if you're a few inches taller, she may have easily grabbed that, but unfortunately, you know, and at least it didn't kind of parry over the boundary and go for 4.
She's such a good fielder though, Dottin. You half expected her to pluck that one. Schofield waits for Cross. It's played away, and that'll go for 4. In front of square on the offside, beating Dottin at backward point. And 17 without loss the total moves on to. The Stars' approach to this very much seems to be to try and get ahead of the rate.
Well, that would kind of ease the pressure as they kind of move throughout their 20 overs. And Paige Schofield has had a good start this year against Thunder. She scored 111 not out at Old Trafford to start the Rachel Hayhoe Flint campaign.
Facing again, looks to flick into the leg side. It takes her on the pad. Gore picks up. No run on offer on that occasion.
Which I had the kind of, well, not so pleasure as a Thunder fan of seeing. It was a fantastic inning, so she's clearly in somewhat good nick, certainly against this Thunder side, because many of the players who are in that game are in this one today.
Certainly, and again on a good pitch she'll be looking to continue. Cross bowling short of a length. Schofield hits it hard away in front of square. There'll be 1, and just 1. That's good fielding, in fact, to keep it to just the single there.
Thunder will need to keep on top of that field, and I think that's where they can win or lose the game. You know, letting too many 1s and 2s go through. They need to be strict here, apply pressure, because boundaries are so easy to come by, as we've seen from their innings. And we saw kind of how kind of sloppy in some ways the Stars were in theirs. 18
without loss after 2. The honours even from the second over, both teams taking 8 runs from the second over of their innings. As the guard is now checked here by Schofield, who's not faced Gore just yet in this game, but that's about to change. Gore bowling, left arm over the wicket. Schofield hitting into the offside. She'll pick up 1. Good bit of fielding from Emma Lamb coming round from extra cover, and congratulations for stopping it, exchanged with Danny Collins, 19 without loss the score.
This is Mahika Gore's first season for Thunder, and she started off probably subdued for probably what standards she holds for herself. Obviously 2 wickets so far.
Here comes Gore. Bowling. Smith trying to smash it away. As you say, she strikes at 150. That's why she's always in the frame for England T20 sides, and she certainly will not walk off this pitch wondering, will she?
No, she'll want to score quickly and score big. And we know that she's very much capable of doing that, especially on a wicket that's so good like this, and with pace. The likes of Gore
produced a few dots to her, but it's also been hit for a few boundaries, and this will be another. In front of square on the leg side, 4 runs to the mid-wicket boundary. 23 without loss. A lovely flicked shot off the front foot from Bryony Smith, just clearing that front leg, and she's happy to take the dots if she doesn't connect, because she knows one like that will come along, and it's forcing a change in the field. The third fielder's coming up, and Ditani's going back to the mid-wicket boundary.
Already she's getting under the field inside kind of skin. She's making them change their field, and only to her advantage.
Do you feel, watching her in these early stages of this innings, that she is almost one of those abrasive cricketers who does get under the skin of opponents? We'll get your thoughts on that after this ball from Mahika Gore. It's down the leg side, so that'll be a wide, will it? No, must have just taken a flick off something. Smith looks astounded.
Yeah, we thought that was definitely going to be a wide then, but kind of luckily for Thunder, the umpire's on their side in that call.
Norris and Lamb with the applause encouraging Gore ahead of this delivery. Norris just bouncing on the toes, trying to get herself loose at mid-off as Gore bowls. This one's played into the leg side off an inside edge. Heap is there with the fielding. 24 without loss it moved on to. 23 without loss, I apologise. One of the things at outgrounds, you never quite know if the scoreboard's quicker than you or slower than you.
We are quite fortunate with Thunder at Old Trafford that they have a fantastic scoreboard there.
That's always ahead of you.
Yeah.
Here comes Gore to bowl a quick left arm, and it beats the swinging bat of Bryony Smith, who stands fairly aghast that she's not connected with that one. 23 without loss. Yeah, does she strike you as the sort of cricketer who's kind of always in a bit of a conversation with someone, always just trying to just let people know about the competitiveness of the game, even when she has got the bat in hand?
I think she's probably just got good cricket in mind and knows what she needs to do to kind of unsettle the opposition. She knows that if she can get the field moving, then the captain and the bowlers are having to think more about that rather than on their plans. It will change things, so then they can't just keep bowling what they kind of want, and then that will bring them the opportunities to score more boundaries.
Vipers against Diamonds, 69 for 5, just past the halfway point of that innings as Cross runs one through the swing of Schofield outside the off stump there. Good bit of bowling. That's a game we really have to keep our eye on, because it's Vipers are the side in third at the moment, the side that these two teams are trying to catch. It'll be both of these sides looking for their third win of the competition. Here's Schofield. The chase 166, and that'll help because she's headed away into the leg side. Collins across the ground quickly, picks up and throws in. Can't prevent the 2 being taken though. 26 without loss the score moves on to. In the fourth over of this reply. 166 to win. The DLS par, which is a very complicated modern calculation, is going up in very old-fashioned way. 25 put up in old-fashioned tiled numbers on the scoreboard.
It almost looks like chalkboard.
1 taken there off the inside edge of the big swing of Schofield's bat. She was looking to go down the ground, but will settle. 26 without loss, the score. 4th over of the game. Those spectators who just disappeared behind the white steps in Cross's first over make their way back again. banked seating all around as cross bowls, and this one's clipped. Oh, what an effort that was from Datani. There were a couple of chances went down in the first innings, and that was probably as tough as the ones that were hit back at the bowler Cooper in the first innings of this game. Datani just unable to cling on at mid-wicket, but it's the second one that's gone down for Thunder with Dottins as well.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely saved a few runs there, but they'll be gutted that they couldn't have taken that catch and sent someone back to the dressing room.
Datani made 30 not out with the bat. That's a great shot down the ground from Schofield, showing all the form that came from that 100 in the first round of games in regional women's cricket right at the start of the competition in the 50-over format. Just that fluid swing of the bat on the drive takes it right back past the bowler. 31 without loss.
Well, she's only been averaging just under 3.5 in this year's Charlotte Edwards Cup, so she'll be wanting to make amends for that in this innings on a wicket that's so good like this.
Schofield waits, bat round about stump high as cross bowl short of a length, and Schofield's hit it into the leg side. There was a cry of catch, but it was never going to carry out there to Collins, who returns it in her usual orderly fashion. 32 without loss then after 4. The rate they need is 8s, just over. They are bang on 8s at the moment.
Yeah, they had a very good start. They haven't, had too many risks, and they play some glorious shots, especially that one down the ground from Paige Schofield in that over. So they're just kind of ticking along nicely here, building a good platform quite like Thunder did in their first innings.
Very different approach to the power play from Thunder compared with Stars. They're bowling Gore for a 3rd over here, whereas Stars mixed up their bowlers just about every over at the power play. Short of a length, hit away by Schofield to backward square leg. The fielding's done well by Fee Morris. She slides along the turf and then picks it up and whips it back into Ellie Threlkel. Great stop, great throw. 33 for 1 the score moves on to. Patience is the call from the Thunder fielders. 8.25 was the rate at the start of the innings. 8s is what they've been going at in the power play so far, as this one beats the dive of Norris. Doesn't beat the dive of Datani. Brilliant stuff, showing that excellent attempt at a catch at mid-wicket that she couldn't cling on to has not affected her spirits, because she gets across the ground there and again gets to the ball. 35 without loss.
And greeted by an applause from the crowd here at Blackpool. Clearly impressed with that. And that's what Thunder need to keep doing in this fielding innings for them.
Gore once more. Bowl short of a length, and this one's going to be pulled away over the fielder Olivia Bell. Inside the ring behind square on the leg side, and 4 runs added on to the total. 39 without loss. And this is kind of what I was wondering about with the 3rd over from Mahika Gore. A Thunder perhaps allowing Smith and Schofield to line her up a bit here.
Well, obviously they've seen her now for 2 overs, so coming into this 3rd one, they, will know what to expect somewhat, and they've kind of adjusted to her pace and her typical line.
Most dot balls seem to have come from full deliveries, but she's gone short again. This one could be 6. Just bounces in front, but Morris puts her hands up to signify it did clear the rope before bouncing in front of the metal fencing and over into the plastic seats. 6 more to the total, and Gore under pressure here. 45 without loss. Bryony Smith is going and showing no signs of stopping here, Paige Corns.
She's just continuing her form that she's had throughout this competition. As we've kind of said, she's been striking over 150, and has a high score of 83. She'll be wanting to beat that today.
Coming into this round of fixtures, the 3rd highest scorer in the competition. Gets hit on the body this time by Gore. Will be quite relieved to not see that one disappear towards the fence, having gone for 10 off the last 2 deliveries. But those are going to be the moments that will decide this game. It'll be things like that where they pick up a couple of boundaries in successive balls. That's what's going to get Stars to this total of 166. They have 45 of them so far. Here comes Gore again. Left arm over, and Smith has gone high towards the decking. Watch out up there. No, lands just in front of the pavilion in the end. But it's 6 more, and it brings up the Stars 50 in emphatic fashion. They move on to 51 without loss from the 5th over. That felt an over too many for Mahika Gore, and it feels as if it's proved that way. Paige Corns, they've gone from going at 8s to going at 10s all of a sudden, the South East Stars.
That was a very good over for the Stars and exactly what they needed, because that eases, you know, the pressure certainly as we come to the end of the power play, once you can start kind of having more fielders out on the boundary.
166 the target here. They already have the first 50 of those, 51 of them to be precise. And the Wilby spin brought into the attack from the far end. It's going to be Olivia Bell. Made her debut in the previous game. And will deliver this. Right arm over the wicket off spin. Hit by Schofield. Hard into the offside. The fielding is done at cover. A precious dot ball.
She had a very good start to her Thunder career, taking 2 for 29 against the Southern Vipers in that first game.
115 more needed for the Stars to get their 3rd victory of the Charlotte Edwards Cup. It would also be Thunder's 3rd victory if they can defend it, and it would send the winning team up towards that precious 3rd spot, which the Vipers currently occupy. Now, will this be caught by Gore? Just out of her reach. Even with the long limbs, couldn't quite get there, and Stars will take 2. We mentioned the Stars fielding was a little bit ropey in the first innings. It's important that Thunder keep their fielding where it needs to be. 53 without loss.
Yeah, they need to keep that morale up regarding that, because we've found that certainly this season, you know, once things start getting a bit tough, you can see the body language kind of change.
Bell again. Schofield down the track. Fluid drive into the onside, but only picks out long on. This is a brave move from the skipper Threlkel to... sorry, it's Morris bowling, rather. I thought it looked like Morris. I was thinking it was very brave to bowl Bell at this stage. So it's Fee Morris bowling this 6th over of the innings. Clapped away into the offside of the back foot. There will be 1 to Bryony Smith. 54 without loss. She had to be quick there, having given herself the room on the back foot to get through to the other end. Another 4 to the total, so 111 more for victory. Morris bowls. Down the track comes Schofield, caught and bowled. No. It was hit into the ground. It had the feel from our end as if it was caught and bowled, but just hit into the deck before. 111 then left for the South East Stars to get. A much tidier over from Thunder there.
But a very good power play for the Stars. Obviously they didn't end it with as good an over as the 5th, but you know, very good, you know, power play to come out of it without losing a wicket.
And 5 runs ahead, of course, of the Thunder. Thunder making 50 off theirs, but 55 for the South East Stars.
Obviously we'll start seeing the fielding change now as more players can go out on the boundary.
This will be Ditani to come on and bowl. Left arm over the wicket, so same as Gore, although probably slightly slower, I don't think it's unfair to say. The fielders that have gone back are at long leg, backward square leg where that was fielded, mid wicket and long on, although with the change in strike and the score going on to 56 without loss from that flick into the leg side, of course that will all change once more. 110 more for victory for the South East Stars. They're chasing 166, an impressive total from the Thunder. They have 1 back at cover now. Still 2 on the leg side. Long on's the field that's come up. 3 back on the leg side. In fact, that's a wide down the leg side. 57 without loss. That was one area in which the Stars were disciplined with the extras.
Yeah, just kind of recall, you can't remember too many from their innings. So whilst the fielding, you know, we've mentioned, they were very disciplined with their lines, making sure there was nothing going down.
Smith has 36 and she's the non-striker. Schofield is adding to her total here with the ball that bounces once before reaching the fielder at long leg. Schofield on to 20 with that, 58 without loss the score. Yeah, looking at the extras column, just the one wide and the one no ball from the bowlers, and then one leg bye and 3 byes from the fielders. Here comes Ditani. Left arm over the wicket, shorter length, hit away into the offside. Lamb right on the back of the ring by the time she fielded it. She walked in as all good fielders do, but was pushed back due to the ferocity of the shot. Dot ball.
Here it flew to Lamb there.
We talk about Dottin being a hard-hitting batter. I think Bryony Smith is up there as well in terms of how hard she can hit the ball, and she's proven it now, heading into the leg side, and that is very well fielded. One-handed by Fee Morris in the end, trying to balance on the edge of the rope to make sure she didn't go over it, and picked it up on the bounce and returns it for the loss of just the single, a 59 without loss.
I feel like it kind of deserved a boundary, that ball. It's hit very hard by Bryony Smith.
Ditani bowls short of a length into the pad. Effort at a dive from Threlkeld. Couldn't stop the ball leaving the ring, but it only does momentarily. So a leg bye to the total. 60 without loss it moves on to under blue skies here at Blackpool. The white clouds just set against that sky. The green of the trees in the distance. And of course this wonderful sort of bank around the far end of the ground with wooden seating. Couple in there, plenty on the decking here, enjoying the hospitality at Blackpool Cricket Club, and they might have to watch out again as another one is hit down towards them, and it'll beat the effort of Kate Cross at long on. Over is called, 60 without loss. The score after 7 overs, and after a quiet 6th over, that felt as if that was more, in fact 64 in the end. That felt more back where the previous one from this north end had been, Paige Corns.
Yeah, maybe it's just kind of need to switch up who's bowling from what end here. But I think Smith and Schofield are just in such good form.
You mentioned obviously you're the ambassador for the Her Game 2 project. What parts of the country are you still sort of looking for ambassadors in, or are you have you found them for all parts now?
Obviously we'd love, you know, the more people that we get on board, the better.
In comes Morris, who bowled a very good first over and is looking to match it with a second. This one's clipped to long on off the front foot, 1 to the total, 65 without loss.
And we're trying to expand the types of roles that we have. Obviously ambassadors, we want to focus mainly on the counties because that's kind of more centralised, but then we're looking for advocates, and grassroots advocates.
Morris bowls, again clipped down the onside of the wicket from off stump this time by Bryony Smith. Another 1 to the total, 66 without loss.
To then help us reach out to, because we want to work with grassroots clubs specifically, and we want to work all the way up. So the more people that we have on, the better, and if you're interested in what we're doing, you can reach out to us.
Here's Morris, again clipped away, but this time to Ditani at mid-wicket. On the floor, no run.
So that's, you can, probably the easiest way is through social, so just put Her Game 2 Cricket and you'll very easily find us.
Here comes Fee Morris, bowls to Schofield, hit through the offside. There was an attempt to stop that by Bell, but it'll roll away for 4 runs, just bouncing up over the rope at the cover point boundary, 70 without loss. Stars going about this in fairly emphatic fashion at the moment. They're hitting the ball hard.
They've obviously learnt from Thunder's innings, you know, and how well it is to bat on, how easy it is to score, and going hard. They've got a total to chase.
Morris floated that one up a little more, just maybe trying to draw the same stroke, but got a more solid drive up towards long off on this occasion. 71 without loss. I suppose they'll have also seen the pressure it puts on the fielders hitting the ball as hard as they are at the moment. Probably the hardest hitter of all, Bryony Smith on strike here. Flicks into the leg side. Collins comes round from backward square leg, and in this one will be returned on the bounce. Another 2 to the total, 73 without loss. It was Lamb who got there first, in fact, coming in from mid-wicket. 4 now allowed outside the ring. See 73 without loss after 8, displayed in orange figures on the second of the 2 scoreboards away to the right, the one over by the decking. People very much sun-drenched over there. A really good number of people out there. There's plenty as well on the little building to the right of it as well, with a flat roof there. More in the plastic seatings and on the wooden banks here.
It's great to see so many people coming down for this and giving a warm welcome to Thunder. Obviously, as we've mentioned, it's been a while since they've kind of played here, and just giving them Blackpool welcome.
It's a hot day, I have to say.
Just a perfect day for cricket.
It is indeed. We've had to shelter ourselves slightly with hats and that sort of thing, but it's a beautiful day for cricket. One of those days that's just made for it, isn't it? Here comes Lamb to bowl off spin around the wicket with a short boundary on the leg side, so she has to get this right. Doesn't really there. Concedes a wide. 74 without loss. Reminded the chase is 166. Plenty of eyes as well on that game between Diamonds and Vipers, because Vipers currently have the 3rd spot. If they slip up again, they could open the door for one of these two. Another wide down the leg side from Lamb, who's not found that line yet. 75 without loss. The number required here under 100 already. 91 to be precise, as Gore fields, and there's an attempt at the run out from Threlkeld, but is unable to affect it. 76 without loss, 90 more required. Vipers 97 for 6 in the 17th over of their innings. Earlier today, Western Storm with wins, putting themselves in contention for that 3rd spot. The Blaze continue to blaze away at the top of the Charlotte Edwards Cup table, as that one's hit into the onside hard. The fielder in front of the plastic seats and the little metal fence over there does a good job. It's Danny Collins, always effective in that position. 1 more to the total, 77 without loss. Feels as if we've had the bulk of this over. Of course, 2 of them were wides. Swept past Mahika Gore, who will be disappointed with that. Tall figure, couldn't get down and make the stop. Collins does well to make amends on the boundary and keep it to 2, but Gore should have really got to that, and it just shows the pressure these fielders have been put under. 79 without loss.
Yeah, definitely, because Stars are just continuing to kind of eat away at this total that they're chasing.
166 the mark for victory. Hit down the ground. Datani comes up and fields with a long barrier. 1 more to the score. 80 without loss.
They're almost replicating what Thunder did in their innings and not letting the bowler kind of get on top of them.
86 more required. Norris quickly across at cover, does really well, prevents a run on that occasion, and every moment like that is absolutely crucial. But unfortunately, from the home perspective, it looks as if Stars are going to be well ahead by the end of the over. Hit into the leg side. 1 more taken to Collins out there. 81 without loss at the end of the over. So compared to the 63 for 1, that is Stars ahead on all counts at the moment, but they've got to stay up with that rate. Of course, there was that over of 18 later on in the innings.
Yeah, so obviously they'll be happy with where they are right now, and you know, it's not too much of an ask to, you know, keep kind of going how they're going, but if, you know, a couple of quick wickets could easily kind of throw this into Thunder's hands.
You're watching Lancs TV. Thunder versus South East Stars on a sunny Sunday afternoon in Blackpool. 4:30 the time, now ticking past, and this time it really will be Olivia Bell to bowl, and it really will be Bryony Smith to sweep high and bouncing, and not gathered by Fee Morris, who can't believe it. She's made some good stops in this innings, but that was not one of them. Got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it in the ropes. It sort of flicked it back into her own foot, and the applause you're hearing is for Bryony Smith's 50. She has gone in swift fashion to that mark. 85 without loss the score. And Smith has 50 of them already. They made 83 earlier in the competition against Vipers. This one's a top edge. Bounces once to the fielder at long on. That is England and Thunder's Kate Cross. Of course, will be with the Northern Superchargers. Somewhat controversially for the Blast. She was picked up unexpectedly in the draft. For the 100 rather. Picked up unexpectedly in that one as that was returned for a single. 87 without loss.
Kate Cross is a very proud Lancastrian. She's been through all of the systems. She was the first woman to play in the men's setup, so she won't be happy about that.
Bowled off stump, Olivia Bell. In fact, it was middle in the end. Bryony Smith looking for the reverse paddle into the leg side, and having gone to 50, the innings ends on 51. She can't believe it. She's given her team the start they needed as the captain, but she almost, had she not had the helmet on, was going to bite her bat, it looked like there. She couldn't believe she'd missed that, and perhaps didn't need to play that shot at that stage. It's always easy to say when a batter misses it, but she's going to have to sit down and watch a lot of this innings now.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed that she's not a part of it. You know, she's had such a good start. She's clearly got her eye in, and then unfortunately for her, she's had to walk back to the pavilion.
Smith out for 51, bowled by Bell off 32 balls in 34 minutes, 6 fours and 2 sixes. A very, very impressive knock, but it comes to an end, and it comes to an end, I suppose, crucially when you're looking at those comparisons between innings, short of what Emma Lamb managed to offer her team with the 63 from 38 balls. Very similar sort of innings, really.
Yeah, but I guess luckily for Thunder they were able to, you know, kind of save some runs there, because obviously Bryony Smith could have easily gotten another 80.
Credit to Bell. Early in her career, as we say, made a debut in this competition and has been hit for a single up to long on there, but she's got the crucial wicket of Bryony Smith.
Yeah, she's played for the Scotland under 19 and the 19s, I should say, in the senior teams in that, and then obviously made a debut this season and started off very well. Now the 3rd wicket in the comp.
Tempted a sweep, appeals for LBW, and it's out. A 2nd wicket in and over for Bell. 88 for 2. Cries of yes from around us here at Blackpool, and that shows the significance of this contribution. Bowling the 10th over of the innings, 88 for 2, and that really, really has done a favour for Thunder here. Both the openers out in the same over. This time it's Schofield. LBW to Bell for 31, 27 balls, 36 minutes, 3 fours. And you talk about turning a game, that's what the spinner Bell's doing here.
Yeah, the momentum's starting to shift a little bit here. Obviously Stars started off brilliantly and scoring at a very high rate, and suddenly you lose 1 wicket, it kind of changes. You got a new, you know, new fresh batter at the crease, and now they've got 2.
Cranston comes to the middle, 235 runs last season in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, so she's a useful addition as one of those 5 changes for the South East Stars. However, she has some work to do with Phoebe Franklin, who's only faced 1 ball and has 1 run. Bell making the difference, and we're again talking about comparisons. Danny Gregory getting 2 wickets in an over. Well, that's that sort of bit chalked off, isn't it? Because Bell has done the same, although her wicket's arguably even more crucial, given it's both the openers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities, isn't there, between the 2 kind of innings so far. We've had 2 quick wickets following the 3 that was in Thunder's innings.
Here's Lamb bowling. It's played out on the offside. Goes to cover point in the end, rather than cover who's Norris. Throws the ball back to the bowler. Interesting, they haven't used Norris yet, who's a very capable seamer in her own right, but perhaps feeling spin's the way to go. Gets to this on the full. That's a nice stroke. Behind square on the offside. And it'll roll away towards the boundary off the bat of Franklin here. Stops just before it. Dottin gets to the ball and returns with a good long throw. Used to be a javelin thrower, of course, Deandra Dottin.
Yeah, she was a track and field athlete, wasn't she, back in in the Caribbean, so...
Field being adjusted now by Lamb, sending back a field for the left-handed Cranston to the mid-wicket boundary and sending one all the way over. Danny Collins from the boundary on the offside, well, what was the leg side to the right-handed Franklin, to the leg side now for the left-handed Cranston. That's what Collins is in the team to do, field and field well. 91 for 2. Attempt at the cut, but missed. No run as a result, as it disappears into those big black gloves of Ellie Threlkeld. Here comes Lamb again, down the leg side. Great little stumping by Threlkeld. Appeals for the dismissal, but doesn't get it and concedes a wide in the process. 92 for 2.
Yeah, Cranston hasn't played much this edition of the Charlotte Edwards Cup after being the second leading run scorer.
And again it turns down the leg side. Again it's a wide ball, and again it's not a stumping for Threlkeld. 93 for 2.
Yeah, in last year's kind of competition, obviously, so far this year it's only 9 runs from 2 innings.
Cranston has looked to flick into the leg side off the front foot the first 2 balls. She's down the track and then aborts the stroke there. Another wide for Lamb, who's conceded too many of these for Thunder's liking in a spell so far. 94 for 2.
Yeah, she seems to be getting a line kind of wrong here. I think she's just gone for some reassurance from her teammates and the captain, just to get her head back in to the game.
She just seems to be trying to bowl on the fringes, doesn't she, of those wide lines, and just getting it slightly wrong at the moment. Has a fielder at 45, 2 back on the leg side, another one at mid-wicket, another one at long on. Clipped away with that little flick off the front foot by Cranston. Doesn't bring a run though, just trickles through to Dottin. Cranston assessing her options. Stars well up with the rate at the moment, chasing 166 for victory. They have 94 in the 11th over. As Lamb down the leg side, this will be stumped. It's brilliant from Threlkeld. She'd advanced slightly down the wicket there. Had Cranston, the diminutive little batter, couldn't get bat on ball on that occasion, has missed it. It will be another wide. 95 for 3 the total will move on to. Cranston is out, stumped down the leg side by the very, very quick hands of Ellie Threlkeld, and the skipper has done her team a real turn there.
Yeah, well, obviously she had a very kind of tough over there, Lamb, and I think it was starting to, all those wides were starting to kind of, the pressure was building on her, but that will certainly kind of ease her nerves after that.
Well, one of those wides has worked for her there. Brilliant stumping by Threlkeld. This is why she's widely talked about now, particularly having scored so well in the 50 over format last season as England's number 2 wicketkeeper, you would think, behind Amy Jones.
Perhaps there's a little bit of bias, but I certainly think that she's one of the best in the country, and I think she's kind of raved about, you know, throughout from people within cricket. She's been fantastic for Thunder behind the stumps, and I guess it's probably only a matter of time till we kind of start seeing her maybe slowly move up those ranks. But obviously Amy Jones is doing such a fantastic job, you know, across kind of disciplines as well, you know, with the bat and with the gloves.
Rihanna McDonald-Gay spins the bat a few times, waits for this ball. It's through to Threlkeld and it's out again. Caught behind. Lamb has 2 in 2. 95 for 4. Big roars from the supporters over on the decking in the sunshine. And Thunder have again picked up 2 wickets in an over. It's been a mixed over with plenty of wides in it, but that was just about the perfect off spinner. Just did a little bit and found the outside edge of McDonald-Gay's bat. First ball, she is out, caught behind by Ellie Threlkeld off the bowling of Emma Lamb.
This is everything Thunder would have wanted, you know, kind of from this part of the game. You know, they were under the pump, you know, with no wickets, you know, kind of being taken, and then suddenly they've kind of got 4 very quickly, and suddenly, you know, the Stars are now the ones who really need to settle down and rebuild here.
So the wickets to fall so far: Bryony Smith bowled by Bell for 51, Paige Schofield out for 31, LBW again to Bell. Then this over, Cranston stumped by Threlkeld for naught off her second ball. bowled by Lamb. Second legitimate ball, we should say, although the ball that got her was not legitimate in the fact it was a wide. Rhiannon McDonald-Gay then out off her first ball, caught behind by Threlkeld off the bowling of Lamb. Do you put the Thunder ahead now with those 4 wickets, or is it the fact that the Stars are ahead on the rate with 95?
I'd probably, you know, they're quite even now because this could very much shake the Stars batting lineup. Obviously now we're into the proper middle order, getting down to that kind of lower end, and you know, they'll be, you know, both of these are very fresh batters, so they need to kind of get their eye in, but then know that they need to keep with their run rate.
This is Tash Farron coming to the crease. 166 the Thunder total, built on the scores of Lamb, Morris and Datani, as that one turns through outside off stump and is again a wide ball. 96 for 4.
Farron's been used as a specialist batter so far this year. She hasn't bowled yet.
Unusual that, making her way back from injury, I believe, as that one's in off the inside edge for a single. Norris picks up first in the leg side, round about square leg. 97 for 4.
Yeah, so far she's scored 45 in her 5 innings, so hopefully she's looking to kind of, you know, get a big score here just to help her team get to that total and get over the line.
So in terms of the innings comparison now, around about 20 ahead, in fact exactly 20 ahead are the Stars on that count, with 97 compared to 77. However, I suppose it's the run rate's the big thing, isn't it, which they are still ahead on, but it feels like it's creeping back now, as spinning the bat is Farrant, who is going to need to keep that rate up. Looks to do so with a drive, a fluent drive into the offside. There is a sweeper back who comes round from cover to extra cover and picks up and returns. 99 for 4. So they're just above that rate after 11 overs at 8.8. They need 8.25 to get to their victory target. It's narrowing up, Page Corns. Here comes Bell again. Picked up 2 wickets in an over from this end. Just looking to add to both the openers in her wickets column. Sunglasses on. Slight undersleeve around the elbow as Farrant's down the track. That's a nice shot. Hit hard. There's a real chase out there, and it's a successful one. Really good work. Libby Heap, I think it is, who's gone all the way in the distance to do that fielding on the offside boundary. And got right round, almost a wide long off by the time she picked it up. It brings up the 100 for the South East Stars. 101 for 4. Took Thunder until the 13th over to pass the 100 mark. Appeals for LBW against Farrant, but I think on that occasion Farrant getting outside the off stump.
Bowler wasn't interested then at all. It was more everyone else around.
It was more, yeah, everyone else got a bit excited. It hit the pad, but Olivia Bell wasn't interested. She knows when it's an LBW. She's picked one up already, as that one is hit into the up to long on. 103 for 4. Lots of encouragement from Threlkeld, marshalling her troops around. In fact, she's got a bowled as well. There's Olivia Bell. That's probably the crucial one. Getting Bryony Smith playing the reverse paddle. Here comes Bell to twirl away, right arm over the wicket. Hit over the top and away to the cover boundary for 4. Pops up rather unkindly to one of the spectators near where the catch was taken in the first innings off Lamb's batting. 4 more to that score. And at the end of the 12th over, it's 106 for 4.
I think it's going to work in Star's favour, having this right hand, left hand, and having to change kind of Bell's line, obviously, into a new over now. But I think it, you know, it could work. It would work well for them and be another thing to sort of throw kind of the Thunder bowlers off.
As you're seeing there, a lovely shot over towards the spectators on the sun-drenched decking in front of the pavilion. Plenty of food being served earlier on. Kate Cross back into the attack for Thunder, with 60 more required for victory by the South East Stars. They're well on course in terms of the run rate, but are they going to run out of batters who can do it? Cross at the back of her run. And moving in now. Bowling, short of a length, it's gone high in the air. Threlkeld is going to look for the catch, so is Cross, and it's Cross who takes it. Caught and bowled. Kate Cross getting a frustrated Tash Ferrant, who swings at the air one more time before departing the scene. She is out, having made only 6 runs, and the wickets column is the concern now for the South East Stars. They're 106 for 5.
You definitely think the Thunder have more of a chance now to kind of really kind of push on with this. You know, they've taken, you know, 5 wickets and 5 very quick wickets. You know, at their stage of their innings, when they lost those 3, they were able to slowly kind of, you know, build again. And they also had a set batter in Fee Morris for when Datani came in, whereas we're in a different situation here with Stars where there hasn't been that set batter.
Yeah, they're trying to start a fresh partnership. And you're a member of Blackpool Cricket Club, of course, Paige Corns, as well as being the Her Game 2 ambassador for this part of the world. What will this mean to these spectators here if they do see a Thunder victory today?
I think for a lot of them it's just getting the chance to engage with this part of the game. Obviously we do have women's cricket here at Blackpool, we have a team, but it's not as kind of, the development isn't kind of there as some structures do. So I think it's wonderful to see so many people out here supporting the women's side of the game, and also just kind of the home pride.
You're watching Kate Cross run in on Lancs TV and bowl a ball that is played into the offside. Dottin is round, picks up one-handed, throws it towards the wicket-keeper Threlkeld, who can't gather, but she won't be too discouraged by that because their team have already produced the 5 wickets that Thunder lost in their innings. Great to have had so many of you watching this game with us. Do make sure you hit the thumbs up button, helps others find streams like this one. Of course, we've got an eye on the game for the Vipers are playing. They're currently in 3rd spot. Brilliant to have 279 if you hit that thumbs up button already, as this one's played away into the offside through extra cover. The fielder from the boundary will come in and do the work. Heap slightly frustrated with a throw, but it did the job in the end. More than 1,000 still watching, which is absolutely brilliant. Now let's flick the channel and see what's going on in the Northern Diamonds game against the Southern Vipers, because that's an important one. As Cross bowls, hit nicely off the back foot. It was a sort of forcing shot where the batter Franklin gave herself room. She's the one who's been at the crease longest and might only have, what, 12 runs to her name so far, but important that she's the end to build the partnership with. 111 for 5.
She's averaging 33 so far in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this year, so she's probably the one who's going to be wanting to kind of stick around and kind of help get them near this score.
Cross again, running in, right arm over the wicket here at Blackpool, and we'll find a dot ball. The ball struck hard up towards mid-off from that open stance that's so common in T20 cricket now. Didn't produce the run that was required though. So they're at the midway point in the Vipers game. 145 will be the chase there at Headingley for the Northern Diamonds. So Vipers have done well to get up to that, as Cross bowls another ball that's hit into the pitch, and will examine the ball, but most crucially of all, will take another dot in the scorer's book. 111 for 5 off 13. It's tense, Paige Corns, it's tense.
It definitely is, yeah. I think it could go either way. If they kind of get this partnership going, then Stars could easily take this home, whereas if Thunder build the pressure, you know, reduce the scoring rate and take wickets, then it's theirs to lose.
It's most certainly in the balance. This game is going to be tight the whole way to that mark of 166 that the Stars need for victory. They've got 111 of them so far from 13 overs.
I think it's very reflective of the kind of tournament so far this year. It's not felt as, it's certainly more competitive than in past seasons. Obviously it's usually kind of your two teams running away with it, whereas this year there's been a lot more kind of happening with the kind of middle teams.
And there seems to be less of those bonus points being taken. Of course, that's what Thunder would love, but if they don't get one, they'll take the win, their third of the season, no doubt. Norris is into the attack. We said they'd kept her back. They kept her in the back pocket, so to speak. They're bringing her on now, with the rate having fallen now to 8.53 at the start of that 14th over of the innings. So it's creeping back, and that's the effect of the wickets, I suppose, ultimately. The DLS par stands at 112, so they're slightly behind that on the scoreboard at the moment. Threlkeld with the take down the leg side off Norris, but it's a wide ball, that doesn't help. 112 for 5.
Yeah, Norris was another one of those kind of recruits that Thunder made kind of towards the end of last season, and so far she's taken 5 wickets for us in this competition.
Has had success in domestic cricket with the Vipers, winning the RHF trophy, and looking to help Thunder win the Charlotte Edwards Cup. That dot ball will make amends for the wires from the previous delivery.
And she's obviously got now kind of more international kind of experience in obviously playing for America and then playing in the WPL this year.
Bowling now in towards the stumps. A little bit of room provided there by the batter, who knocks it down the onside of straight for a single. Brings Franklin back on strike. And Norris is at the back of a run again. On her way now. Looking to find another crucial wicket for Thunder. It's hit back at her. What a catch that is from Tara Norris. She didn't know a huge amount about it because it was hit very, very hard. We've been seeing the ball hit hard at bowlers all day. Kate Cross has got a caught and bowled from one that went up in the air, but crucially, Tara Norris has clung on to that one. I'm not quite sure how, for a caught and bowled that sees the back of Franklin, who is out for just 12.
Well, that's sometimes why it sticks, is because you kind of don't know about it, and it's just so quick that you don't have time to react to it. Well, that's a brilliant caught and bowled by Tara Norris.
And our Stars just starting to run out of batters here. Kalia Moore at the crease. Long conversation with the incoming batter from Franklin, who got a little bit of a feel for the pitch there in her deliveries at the crease. 9 of them for her, 12 runs in 21 minutes. Hit a boundary. And there's a long chat. No, it's not a chat, it's a check of the bat, just making sure that it is of legal proportions, and it was quite comfortably on that occasion. Sometimes the bat thing gets stuck on the bat because it's that close, but that one sort of slid on and off, and it will be, as listed, Stonehouse to come to the crease and take guard. Blue sunshine all around. The clouds have all but burnt off here in Blackpool today. The green of the trees just ruffled slightly by a breeze, but it's that sort of breeze you can barely feel. Lots of hats and sunglasses on over in the decking in the sunshine as Stonehouse just fiddles this one away past the wicketkeeper Threlkeld. Not sure how much she got on it. She will get 4 for it though, and it's down as byes. Threlkeld actually was just fooled by the shape of the stroke as much as anything. 117 for 6. Vital runs for the Stars.
They'll take them however they can come at this point. You know, we're being 6 down.
They require 166 for victory, so they are within 50. Here comes Norris bowling, left arm around to the right-handed Stonehouse, prods into the offside, picked up at cover, no run. And it's going to be tight all the way here, but Thunder's best tactic seems to be to just keep taking the wickets, Paige Corns.
Well, that's what you'd want from your bowlers, isn't it? It's everything you ask for. But, you know, they keep plugging away, keep taking these wickets, and then, you know, suddenly, after being miles ahead, the Stars are now kind of level with, well, we're level with the DLS par, which obviously isn't going to come to effect today, with not a cloud in the sky, but...
Yeah, we're just waiting for the tiles to go up, rather like watching an episode of Countdown. The par score 1-2-2, so they are behind on that measure at the moment, but they'll have an over to try and get back there. Tatani now bowling into the pads. Good straight left arm over the wicket delivery, and it produces a dot ball from Moore, and it's asking two players who haven't played a huge amount of cricket come into the side today to take Stars to victory now. You feel that wicket of Bryony Smith could be very, very crucial. Attempt to heave this one down the ground. Instead it goes off the inside edge. Just one run picked up to Mahika Gore, who does the fielding from long leg. 118 for 6.
This is where the England exodus for South East Stars kind of hurts them, is that a lot of their players now have not either played kind of at all or not played much so far this season.
Yep, they're leaving out a list of Dunkley, Capsey. Oh, top edge. Now this time it's Threlkelds. And this time, well, it was taken last time by Cross. This time it's taken by Threlkeld. Datani has the wicket, and another South East Stars player is out. This time it's Stonehouse without scoring. There have been a few of those ducks in this innings, and Stonehouse gets another big top edge. 118 for 7, and this game seems to be drifting away. And as we say, they're missing Dunkley, they're missing Capsey, they're missing Davis, they're missing Davidson Richards, and they're also missing the wicketkeeper Chatley rather unexpectedly. And this seems to just be drifting away. It will be Chloe Hill with the numberless shirt, having come in last minute for Chatley to try and affect things. She can bat.
Yes, she's got a T20 high score of 80 not out, so she's certainly not too shabby kind of with the bat, but it's whether obviously with the lack of cricket that she's able to kind of pull it off now for her new team.
That was for the Vipers, who won this competition last year and are in action trying to cling on to third spot this time round against the Northern Diamonds, who are 1 for 1 in their reply in the second over, chasing 145 there at Headingley. Thunder looking to move within a point of Vipers, as this one's played away beautifully by Chloe Hill into the offside, off the mark straight away with 1. Probably deserved more than 1, that shot from your first ball. 119 for 1.
It certainly sounded lovely.
For 1, sorry, for 7. I completely misread the board in the sunshine there. 7 wickets down is a crucial figure at the moment in this game, because that seems to be Thunder's easiest route to victory at the moment, to bowl the Stars out. Moore's waiting. Hit on the pads, appeal for LBW. I could see plenty of the stumps from our angle, and I think the umpire could too, and hence it's not out.
And that was just more wanting it to be out and knowing that they're close now, so they can almost kind of taste it. So they know there's only a few more wickets to go. There's not a heap of batting left in the Stars lineup.
The good number of spectators in the sunshine are rather hushed at the moment, but you feel if that victory comes, they'll be very enthusiastic indeed. There's slightly nervous applause for that ball speared in towards the stumps from Datani. It brings 1 run, 120 for 7 from 15 overs. The DLS par, which changed to 128, has not been achieved in that over. 15 gone.
As we've mentioned, you know, it's very quickly kind of swung into Thunder's kind of favour here. Done very well to kind of wrestle back that momentum after Bryony Smith kind of took Stars to such a kind of strong position.
Fee Morris bowled the 6th over of this innings in the power play for just 4 runs. Is this a canny decision to bring her back on at this stage?
She has been doing, you know, well with the ball. I think that's where kind of most of her contributions have kind of come from, and she's taken the, you know, wickets when they're needed.
It's a full toss from the first ball, and it's brilliant fielding by Datani to ensure it's a dot ball, and that brought the fans to life. That brought the applause around Blackpool Cricket Club for the Thunder. They've warmed to their team. They've been treated to a really good game of cricket so far today. Sweep shot out towards backward square leg, fielded by Heap. A shout of well done, Libby. Tells you that much. 121 for 7. Heap, of course, involved with the opening partnership of 50 with Emma Lamb at the start of this game. Partnership of 58 in the end. And it got Thunder off to the start they needed. Here comes Morris, bowling to Hill, clips into the leg side of the front foot, looking for 2, but the wave of the bat indicated to Moore that she must return to the striker's end, and that no more runs were on offer. Another little spin of the ball as Morris makes her way in. Hit high by Moore towards the long side of the ground, but that's going to go all the way for 4. And the umpire waves the hand from side to side to indicate as much. 126 for 7. 40 more required for victory. Stars not done yet, Paige Corns.
No, that was a very strong shot from Moore there, and showing the intent that the Stars need. And will ease the pressure for this over and getting that boundary.
She's a little almost pocket-sized player, but very powerful is Moore. Looking for the paddle sweep. It's down the leg side. Of course, those lines apparently now move with the batter. Maybe that was the interpretation there as Threlkeld took that. She's had a stumping down the leg side, a magnificent one in this innings already off the bowling of Emma Lamb. Looking for another off Fee Morris. Hit up to long off. There's a fielder there. There will be 1. There will not be 2. And that's not enough for the Stars at this stage, although they have had a boundary in this over from Gillian Moore. 127 for 7 then off 16, still behind that DLS par.
I think Thunder have been very lucky here with their kind of balls down leg side and their calls from the umpire. You know, in another game they could very easily be wides.
And as magnificent as it was to see that stumping and that glove work from Ellie Threlkeld, it still feels a little bit of a sour way to get a wicket from a batter's perspective, you would think, and from a Stars perspective. 7 wickets down then for 127, and it's now 8. Datani, big cheer as she bowls Moore, looking for that heave into the leg side again. On this occasion she misses, and she is out. 127 for 8. Thunder surely, Paige Corns, on their way to victory here.
Yeah, well, that was leg stump out the ground. Very easy kind of decision there. Definitely, you know, a wonderful delivery from Naomi Datani there. And now, kind of we're reaching the right end of the Stars' kind of innings and their batting lineup. Thunder will be kind of sensing kind of victory here.
They will indeed. That pressure finally starting to tell on the run rate, which had dropped below 8 at the 16 over mark, and it's now going to be very tough for 9, 10 and Jack, as the saying goes, to get their team for victory. They're 8 down in the 17th over. The wickets column is the big concern. Cooper comes to the crease. How her hand must be feeling from the cracking it got off successive deliveries from Liberty Heap. One can only wonder, but she's taking guard. She's got work to do. Datani with a big wicket there for her team. She's come to Thunder to win games of cricket. Can she help them win one today? This one's of goodish length, on leg stump. Clipped away, and it goes past Libby Heap for 4 runs. Probably should have kept that in the ropes. 132 for 8. 131 rather. They'd already added the single, which is perhaps what was being expected from the scorers there. But Heap couldn't keep it in the ropes, redoes a shoelace. There's still pressure on here. 166 needed for victory. 35 more if you look another way. It would be a lot of runs though for the last 3 batters of the Stars to get. Nervous applause from the decking in the sunshine. Remains 131. No run there.
Cooper's only got a high score of 15, so it's a big ask at this point for the new batter.
Faces up now, does Cooper. Down the track and hits into the offside. It's got to be watched by, in fact, it was Collins, I think, with a misfield earlier in the over, because Heap's out on the cover boundary and makes the stop there. 132 for 8. They are always a bit of a distance at these outgrounds for fielders, particularly the ones on the leg side at backward square leg where Collins returns, and down at long leg where we've got Gore. Ditani bowls, shorter length, hit hard, or attempted to hit hard into the leg side, but missed by Chloe Hill. 1-3-2 the score. It's not quite enough. 166 needed for victory. Another 34. Cross, who's seen a lot in her career, was contemplating things with hands on hips, walks in with Ditani, who bowls down the leg side. That's going to be another wide. 133 for 8. It's not hurting Thunder as much as you felt it was going to earlier in the innings, but it's still not wise giving these extra balls away, Paige Corns.
No, because it's just giving them, you know, another run and another opportunity to then score.
Here's Ditani. Heels kicking up as she runs in. Hit hard. You would have heard the crack off the bat, and that's because it was heading towards the boundary, but magnificent fielding by Fee Morris out on the leg side. She's been effective with the ball. She's got that distinctive little towel tucked down the back of her trousers to dry the sweat off her hands before bowling, but it was her hands that were needed to just palm the ball to her colleague Collins there. Magnificent fielding.
Yeah, it was fantastic from Morris there, and is everything that, you know, Thunder need. You know, see, they're all pumped now. You know, they know that they're getting kind of close, and they could very easily kind of take this victory. So, you know, the energy's up, and they need to continue that throughout.
You talked about them almost being able to taste it earlier in the innings. They must almost be able to sort of physically bite that victory now.
Yeah, you'd think so, especially with only, you know, 2 wickets left to get. There's still 30 runs for these last few batters to knock off.
It's going to be Cross, who's been through so much in that Lancashire red. It's now Thunder red, and she's charging into bowl on the south end at Blackpool Cricket Club and produces a dot ball, and even that's been applauded now by those in the pavilion. Lovely pavilion away to our right hand side with a balcony clock in the middle of it on the wooden border to that balcony, and Cross is on her way in again. Trees behind her in the distance. It's hit down towards the bank on the onside, but fielded at mid-on again by Ditani, who bowled a very crucial over from the north end, picking up the wicket of Stonehouse, caught behind by Threlkeld. Also got Kalia Moore bowled for 10 as Ditani, so she'll be able to pass on words of wisdom to Cross, who has a wicket herself, caught and bowled. Now this time it is picked up down the ground. It's gone high. Has it gone long enough for 4? Yes, it has. Over the rope and into the wooden board in front of the sight screen. 139 for 8. Still tense here. 166 the target.
You can hear the cheers from, I'm assuming, the Stars kind of dressing, well, I say dressing room, little
contingent.
Yes.
They're amassed there in front of the pavilion, aren't they? And they're cheering it when it's hit well. Cooper gets it into the leg side. They're going to look for 2. They're going to go for 2. Now this is going to be tight. Threlkeld looking for the stumping. Bounced awkwardly in front of it. Did really well to pick it up and throw it onto the stumps. But Cooper was back for 2. 141 for 8. I make that 25 more for victory. The batters just having a mid-pitch chat, perhaps to catch their breaths. Good tactics if so.
And just slow the pace of the game down for Thunder. Obviously things kind of quickened up when they kind of were taking those wickets. Try and wrestle that back into their kind of favour and slow the game down.
Here comes Cross. They're not far away from that DLS par. Would be 149 at the end of the over. Picked up and, well, thought about a throw. Decided to hold on to it, did Emma Lamb. Tosses it to her England colleague Kate Cross. 1-4-2 for 8 with the single. Pushed off the drive into the offside. Still tense. In comes Cross again. 24 more needed for victory for the Stars. It's up in the air. Is it going to be caught? It will be. Emma Lamb with the catch of the bowling of Kate Cross. And the innings of Chloe Hill comes to an end for just the 10 runs, sorry, in the end. Chloe Hill caught by Lamb off the bowling of Kate Cross. 142 for 9. 24 runs short of victory. Surely now, Paige Caunce, we're going to see a Thunder victory here.
And it would be a significant victory if I'm not mistaken. They've only won 2 games in the past 2 editions of this, so this would be their 3rd win and most in one competition. So it's certainly showing how kind of the development's going to come in at Thunder, and how, you know, new recruits. Obviously, we've mentioned the 3 that are playing today, and their pathways have kind of been working over the past year. Obviously, they've had the 2nd season of doing a pre-season tour, so it's just showing how things are slowly improving and getting better and stronger at Old Trafford.
So it would move them up level on points with the Vipers, who are playing the Northern Diamonds. They come here to Blackpool on Wednesday. So Thunder could be going into that fixture level on points with the Vipers.
Be a very tough game for them. Obviously, we've seen how kind of strong Northern Diamonds have been throughout the Charlotte Edwards Cup in its existence.
Here's Datani bowling, hit down the ground. There'll be 2 fielders chasing back towards the rope. It's picked up by the first of them, Norris, returned to the second of them, Cross, and back to the bowler, Datani, who's been given the 19th over of this innings. 144 the scoreboard moves on to. Hill, sorry, was out for 4, caught by Lamb, bowled by Cross in the previous over. Cooper has 12, and she'll add to that now with 4 more. Cooper moves on to 16. The Stars still have hope. You can hear that from their supporters. 148, the target 166.
A lovely shot that just kind of flew off the bat there from Cooper, and definitely give her some confidence and something to cheer about in the dressing, well, the South East Stars camp.
18 for victory for the Stars. 1 wicket for Thunder. Through outside the off stump to the gloves of Threlkel. Dot ball. They're all being applauded now. Thunder supporters in the pavilion. The Thunder bench on the edge of the rope just in front of it. The fans watching on from the decking. They've had a good afternoon. Looks like the drinks have been flowing now that the food's done. 148 for 9 the score. The Tani bowling down the track. Hit into the offside, only as far as Lamb on the back of the ring at extra cover, where she took the catch in the previous over. The Thunder 150, for reference, came up in the 19th over. Stars 2 away from that at the moment, but they only have 1 wicket left, crucially. Here's Datani, bowls into the pad. They'll scamper through for a single. Gregory wants to look to come back for 2. And it's not an offer. Gregory was part of a very useful, and at the time, I think it still may well be, record-breaking final wicket partnership at Southport last year that saw the Stars get a total they then were able to defend. Don't remember her playing too many shots in that innings. It was more a supportive role for a senior colleague, but can she do that for Cooper here? It's 10 and 11, trying to get the Stars to victory. Thunder need just 1 wicket. It's down into the pitch. No run on offer. Norris was converging from mid-off. Lamb picks it up from extra cover. 149 for 9. As that fielding is successfully completed on the offside of the pitch. It feels a lot from the final over of this game, Paige Corns, but we've seen strange things happen before now. 166 the target.
That's cricket, isn't it? You know, you can never predict what's going to kind of happen. You'd expect that Thunder should be able to kind of close this out. Obviously, they would want the wicket, but to say they would love to get that third win on what is a home ground.
Norris, 17 to defend. First time Thunder have played here. First time these two sides have met in this competition. Cooper looking to swing leg side, misses the ball. It's a dot ball. So she has 17 to defend off 5. Surely now, Paige Corns, surely.
That was a brilliant first ball of the over from Norris. She's just got to kind of keep her head down.
This is to go level on points with the Southern Vipers. They're playing at Headingley currently as Norris runs in here at Blackpool. Up in the air, could this be it? Norris is going for the caught and bowled, and she holds it. Norris with the caught and bowled. Cooper is out in the final over. 149 is the final score for the South East Stars. It leaves them 15 short of, in fact 16 short of the score of the Thunder. A 16-run victory then for Thunder here at Blackpool Cricket Club. Paige Corns, your cricket club. How pleased are you right now?
Well, if anyone who knows me knows I'm a Thunder fan, so obviously it's great to see them win, you know, and hopefully what will be a ground that they play at more often in the future. And they were cheered and we had some whistles, and I think just the kind of familiar lanky kind of cheers going around.
It'll always be there with this team, it has to be said, because they are very much associated with that county.
Here in all but name, you know, so it's fantastic to see such support, and that they've, you know, won in front of a home crowd, and a crowd that won't have seen them too much, you know, and hopefully, you know, they'll see this. Hopefully there'll be some kids down, people who want to start engaging with, you know, Thunder cricket more. So what a brilliant kind of advert for, you know, women's cricket at this club.
That will be the hope. That'll be the hope from the Her Game 2 perspective as well. Thank you to Paige Corns as the players are shaking hands. This was a victory built on the Thunder scores of Emma Lamb 63, Fee Morris 44 and 30 for Naomi Datani. There was a couple of wickets picked up in a single over by Danny Gregory, who finished with 14 for 2 off her 3 overs, and Phoebe Franklin got 18 for 2 from her 3 overs. It was a chase of 166 for victory then that the Stars were set. They went off well with Bryony Smith making 51 from 32 balls, Schofield 31 from 27, but the innings rather fell away from that point, and it was Cooper who was last out with 18, who was the best scorer after that point. She was caught by Tara Norris. The wickets shared around, 2 of them for Kate Cross for 29 runs, 2 for Naomi Datani off 25 runs, 2 for Emma Lamb in her 2 overs for 17 runs. Olivia Bell crucially picking up both the openers for 16 runs off her 2 overs, probably the pick of the bowlers in many ways. And Tara Norris with 2 wickets for just 2 runs in her 1.2 overs. It is a victory here for Thunder by 16 runs, and that is something I hope you have enjoyed on Lancs TV. Our thanks to Badger and Coombs for the pictures. Our thanks to Paige Corns alongside myself, Mike Perkins, and a thanks for Blackpool Cricket Club have been excellent hosts. Thunder winning by 16 runs. They go level on points with the Southern Vipers, with the Diamonds to come here and play on Wednesday. Do join us for that one. Keep an eye on whether the Vipers as well can get a victory that would send them back ahead into 3rd spot, or whether they will lose to the Diamonds, who, as we say, come here on Wednesday. Thanks for watching Lancs TV, and thanks for being with myself, Mike Perkins, and Paige Corns. Until next time, bye for now. Get a victory that would send them back ahead.